Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Professionals. It is monster season, and the Bros Show, which is a revolving, traveling show, if you will, lands on my desk tonight, and it goes to each other's channels throughout the month. But it is the monster season, and we have just launched Escape from Monster Island. So tonight's subject is going to be a fun one because we're going to discuss our favorite monster designs in film and in comics, and there's so many good ones out there. It'll be interesting to see if there's some that get picked that nobody thought of. So that's what we have in store for you tonight. We'll also be pushing Escape from Monster Island and all the other guys' projects as well. And I want to thank everybody who was there for the launch at 2 o'clock this afternoon. So far, we're doing pretty good. Let's add this to the stage and let's give it a quick refresh so we know what we're starting at right now. All right, we're almost at 17,291 backers, and we're only 5 hours in. That's pretty good. So thank everybody who's backed it so far. The link is in the chat, and it'll be and it's pinned in the chat too, so you can find it if you need it. So let's bring in the bros. The first man himself, who's always the first man in the back room, Mr. Andy Smith.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for coming on this afternoon. It was great to see you and hang.
You know it.
I like the other view better, I gotta say. You know, the desk with the artwork and stuff on the wall. It looks pretty cool.
I know. No work tonight, though. This is all play.
There you go. And let's bring in the man from the West Coast himself, Mr. Aaron on the men.
The rumors of my demise have been greatly exaggerated. I am still alive and on the mend, so look out.
Aaron, I just want to congratulate you for coming on the mend. There is nothing to joke about receding testicles. And the fact that you're sitting down and here right now is a testament to your fortitude.
I didn't really want that information out, Andy, but you know.
Andy, we're live.
Oh, I thought this was the run through that we always do before we go.
This was the back room chat.
Yeah, the rehearsal. Oh,
I'm going back to bed.
Now I'm going to bring a young man in. I had an older guy on my show earlier this afternoon, but this is like his younger brother.
That's where the beauty of time travel.
Wow,
it's made by Gillette.
It works.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Congratulations on your launch, buddy.
Thank you, and thank you for being here this afternoon.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
I sent my my future self. We get busy, you know. So, goodness.
Oh man, that's great. And let's bring in the bear himself, Mr. RT Bear.
Hey, two things. Glad you're doing better, Aaron. My gosh, prayers. And oh my goodness, Graham Nolan, you're killing it on Monster Island. That is cool, man. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. We're
Are you
pretty
killing
good
monsters on Monster Island? Is that what you're doing, Graham?
What's that?
Are you killing monsters on Monster Island?
Well, I wanted to, but the Anarchons, who were in the last, they were the space hippies that were, all touchy-feely about the monsters, and they didn't want that. That's why they got on the island, they sabotaged it, and that's what put us in this place for Escape from Monster Island.
Well, you can't kill them. You got to get out of there.
That's right.
Hey, speaking of monsters, do you guys remember? Okay, it was Jurassic Park 2, I think, and it was when they had the hunters on the island, right? So they had to go back to the island, whatever. And then there's the hunters. And there's all these raptors. My gosh, it should have been a blood fest. Not one of those raptors were shot. Not one of those raptors were shot. I'm like, holy crap, man! This would have been
turned into a kids movie.
Yeah,
I remember at Extreme we used to talk about wouldn't it be cool because we saw Jurassic Park together as a studio, and then we talked about wouldn't it be cool if the part 2 was like by James Cameron and he sends the Marines in, and we had all these great ideas and we wanted what you're talking about.
Steven Spielberg read Monster Island, and he said to the agent that this is how we should have ended Jurassic Park 3.
Well, there you go. There you go.
But he also said right before that, we never should have made Jurassic Park 3.
No,
Yeah.
we never should have made two.
You bet Jurassic.
But I like the one girl with Jim Cotta was able to take out that one raptor.
Did you say Jim Cotta?
Jim Cotta.
Jim Cotta. Yeah, that was that movie in the
Yeah,
80s.
it was like gymnastics, karate.
Yeah. We called it Jim Cotta.
But it sounds like John Travolta saying an ex-president's name, Jim Cotta.
I liked how they they told us she's a gymnast, so you just knew she was going to be swinging from some pole.
Oh my gosh! Hang on now.
At some point,
but not the vertical type, the horizontal.
I haven't seen
it would have been a better
Cotta.
movie if it was a vertical pole.
That's true.
I haven't seen it since the 80s.
She was a kid. She was a little girl.
Oh, wait.
It doesn't matter to Graham.
That's right.
It's all about the joke.
That's right. Go in hard. Don't do it at all.
Exactly.
Oh man. So let's talk a little monster stuff since this is the season, and let's chat a little bit about. Let's start with movies.
Yeah.
Let's start with movies.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. What we're starting with, because we got to pull our images and all that stuff.
I already got mine ready, baby.
You got throw one up there, Daniel.
I don't want to skip turns.
Dan.
No, I'm not skipping turns.
I think we can freeform it.
Yeah, you want? Okay, you ready?
Back and
There's only 5 of us. I don't think we're gonna get mixed up in any confusion.
Okay, this is the first monster that scared the bejesus out of me, and it's drawn masterfully by Mr. Mike Ploog.
Okay, so we're talking movie monster, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Boom.
Yeah.
Wow, the thing.
Oh, the thing. Yes.
This freaked me the fuck out, man. I saw it. I think I saw it when I was 10 on videotape when I was up in Seattle, and I just remember being just terrified. And then later on, seeing these designs by Ploog. This is one of many. If you go on the internet and you type up Mike Ploog, The Thing, you're gonna get a whole bunch. But this one, it's really affected me a lot in my creature design. In fact, in Black Flag, you're gonna see a bit of this kind of thing, because I like the idea of this sort of thing.
Yeah, that's the only way you can describe it.
Yeah,
it's pieces of.
Well, you could say it's a thing from another world. That would be a more apt description. So you could.
Should I say another world?
It would also be a better movie.
See, I knew I was baiting Graham, and he took it.
Is there another movie called Thing from Another World?
Yeah.
Oh, is it? What's that monster look like?
It looks like Frankenstein in a spacesuit.
Oh, okay. I remember talking with this is like a long time ago. I was 2001 or so. I was having lunch with Comic Crafts Richard Starkings, and we were talking about when my friend Brian was with me, and we were talking about the shows of our youth that we really took to. And I was telling him about the A-Team and the Dukes of Hazzard, and of course Richard's from England, and he was talking about Doctor Who. And man, I laid into him, because when I was a kid and I'd see anything like Doctor Who, those aliens look like dudes in trash bags, like or with pantyhose on their face, Right. So when I hear Frankenstein in a spaceman suit, I'm like, that sounds about right.
But it's an awesome movie.
There's certain movies where, and The Thing is one of them for me, that you've got special effects makeup, and that's so inspiring, creatively speaking, that it makes you maybe like the movie more than you should. And I love this movie. I'm a big Kurt Russell fan. Kurt Russell's in it. I'm always hit or miss with Carpenter. It depends on the movie.
Me too.
Yeah.
But I love this movie because the makeup just blows my mind. The makeup effects.
Yeah.
And course, Kurt Russell is in it.
Yeah.
And those are two, and like, so it's like John Carter, right? I'm so into John Carter. If that movie sucked, I would have loved it. I don't think it did, but you can't trust my opinion. And this is one of those movies you probably couldn't trust my opinion because the makeup effects are so mind altering that you're like, that's worth seeing it just for that.
Right.
And so, but that's Rob Bottin did the makeup effects, and that's like legendary stuff.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I liked his mind. You know, I heard for like the 3D City that it was just like tape on boxes, you know, for the Escape from LA, you know, or Escape from New York.
Yeah, I saw that. It's crazy.
It's like fake computer graphics with masking tape. You know?
Oh, that's
so
cool.
cool.
That's the magic of old Hollywood, you know, the way they can do shit.
Yeah.
You know? It's crazy. Anybody else got something you want to share?
I got one queued up. Now, before you pull it up.
Yeah, well, whoever's ready, whoever's got their stuff ready.
I got it.
Okay. All right.
Throw it up there.
Before you pull it up. So this was actually a little tougher for me because I like horror movies and stuff, but I was going through my mind and I really couldn't think of a lot of like monster type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think monster and creature and design wise, you can pull it up now.
I don't. Oh, there it is.
Yep. Predator.
Yeah.
When he took that helmet off and we saw that ugly ass face, like, out of the gate, obviously I like the movie. You got Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers,
so good.
The Body Ventura's in there. I mean, just a great cast. And then you got this hulking freaking, Predator, but he pulls that mask off, and it's not just open the mouth like this. It's this and this, and it's just great.
Yeah.
And I think it still holds up today. It's not one where you go kind of like The Thing does.
Yeah.
This could come out brand new today, and I think it still just be like, oh, that is freaking cool.
Yeah.
You know
Did
what
you
else
ever see the original design?
No, I don't.
It was Jean-Claude Van Damme was the Predator.
Yeah, it's
and
true.
They had these really shitty costume for him, and they said there's no way we can do this, And he was there. He was actually there filming in the jungles with them, and then they did a quick turnaround.
Oh, I knew about Jean-Claude Van Damme, but I don't think I knew about a different design. I'll have to look. I'm sure.
Yeah, did they bring in?
The great thing about the character in the movie is that he's a real threat. Like there's a lot of time there's like great design and stuff like that, but this character was a real threat. Like
and terrifying.
Yeah, dude, he's holding a dude's skull and spine.
And he could just yank him right out, But when you see it like spitting up that glow in the dark blood, what the hell are you?
This is terrible.
Look at
that.
He looks like Jar Jar Binks.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, that is.
They must have brought Stan Winston in after the fact then.
Yeah, because Stan Winston didn't design this.
No.
Yeah.
That is crap.
It looks like something you'd see with the slee stacks or something.
Yeah, exactly.
I was thinking the same thing. Slee stack.
Well, so was Schwarzenegger attached at this point, or?
Oh yeah, they were actually filming.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, this is much better.
It's just like the Jurassic Park story where they were going to go with like the animation,
right?
And it's like, well, we can't do that. Let's try this other thing with some digital effects, and then it's like the next thing you know, you got a better movie.
Yeah, the stop motion stuff that they were going to use was probably going to be the state-of-the-art best stop motion you ever saw, but it's still going to be stop motion.
Right.
We're still going to know that that ain't a real dinosaur.
Kind of that Harryhausen feel to it.
Yeah, which is charming
RoboCop.
And wonderful.
Ed 209.
Yeah, that was so bad. Even when it came out, you're watching it and you're going, "Oh, that's bad."
You have to suspend disbelief and just enjoy.
This
boys behave.
This is one of the best movie monster designs, in my opinion, of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
Predator.
it's so good.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And the best line from RoboCop, "Can you fly, Bobby?" When he threw that guy off the roof, "Can you fly, Bobby?"
That first one was really good, man.
The first one was really good.
Yeah. Second one was Frank Miller, right? Like he wrote it, he was in it. He was.
Oh,
the
I think
doctor.
you're right.
Wrote it.
He was.
Was it the second or third one?
Maybe
it was the second one.
He was the second one because he plays the doctor that makes the nuke, and he's like in that like lab, that portable lab, and I think he's called Frank.
Huh.
Excuse me. Shelly's working on her printer, and I'll be right back.
Good man.
Are we doing comic book?
Aaron
or
is not next.
Film, or doesn't matter?
What, Art?
Is it comic book or is it film, or it doesn't matter at this point?
Right now we're doing film. We'll do comics afterwards.
Oh shoot!
Well, here while you're getting yours, I'll show mine. How about that?
Okay.
Unless you're ready.
No, I don't have it yet.
Okay.
I have it sort of. It's partial.
Well, this one for me, and Andy and I were talking about this, is probably one of the greatest because not only is it all completely makeup, but it was put on by the actor himself. He created the design.
And if it's the one I'm choosing, I'm going to strangle you.
Should have been ready.
Go ahead.
Oh, I didn't share it. I'm sorry. Oh.
And I got a bonus monster too in the wing. Oh yeah.
Oh, he put that on himself, huh?
Oh yeah, he did all his own makeup.
Ah, that is the one I was looking. Ah, you son of a bitch.
Now, here's a question, because I didn't know that. So, fast forward to the first Captain America movie, right, with the Red Skull.
Yeah.
And the way they got rid of his nose is they did the green thing over his nose. And how'd they do it here? Because they didn't have that technology back then.
They pushed it up.
That's his nose, yeah, and it's taped up.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Up. Yeah. And see those big cheekbones?
Yeah.
Those are like cotton wads.
Oh wow.
That are put in there. And then, he's got the false teeth, which he, I believe, made as well. And then that fucked up hairdo too. The circles under the eyes. When in the sequence when Mary Philbin is going to remove the mask that's over him as he's playing on the organ, and she's like, she's reaching and she pulls back and she reaches and pulls back, and it's this little dance, and then finally she grabs it and she pulls it off, and he stands up and he's facing the camera. He's like, and then he turns around. It's like, my God, it's still good.
That's such a great moment.
Still amazing.
Horrifying moment when she pulls that mask off.
Can you imagine what was that? Was that 1912?
No, it was 1919.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that old.
Can you imagine that audience?
Oh yeah.
When Mary Philbin pulls the mask off.
The movie has no sound. It's a silent movie.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And I'll bet you the audience put sound in it.
Yeah.
This is one like Nosferatu is another one, but this is a really good silent movie.
Bloody Drake says 1925 for this.
25. There you go. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. This still holds up. This is freaking amazing.
And it's effectively used too, because they don't really show them until. I mean, there's a lot of setup, with him creeping around in the shadows, and you don't really see him until that. So that reveal is such a big payoff.
Yeah, it really is. Did you find what you're looking for, Art?
I got it.
Oh, okay, good. Do Art.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's Aaron's. Okay. I see Dan has one up here.
Yep.
All right, I got it.
Monster in history.
I've got it. All right, here we go. All right, share. All right. This just proves that I had it.
No, actually, it doesn't prove it. How's that prove you had it?
That's
No,
true.
he's saying that he had it in his possession as he was downloading it during
9/10 of the law. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I like the
classic.
human tongue. The human tongue that's there. You can see it.
Yeah.
That's the sound he made. Yeah.
Those eyes, man. Shit.
This is one of the great costumes. You take everything into consideration, especially the time period.
Yeah.
And you guys know the lady that designed it? It was a woman.
Yeah. Millicent Patrick.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she was a former Disney animator.
Yeah. This is such a
no
great
way.
It's such a great design. Here's a better shot.
And you know, as good as this design is, the face and everything, this is a much more effective design when it's actually in movement.
Yes.
Because you can look at it
here
and kind of go, that's big lips, kind of hokey and everything. But when it's actually in the water and it's moving in the film, it works so well.
And you don't see
if you've ever fished, you know, fish have lips like that. You know?
I know. But I'm saying it just. I think it's
the zipper.
Oh no.
Oh wow,
Millicent! Come on now.
Well, no. We got to put that on Bud Westmore.
She's so good.
But you know what? This is one of those things where the design of the character is better than the character and the movie. The movie is just like, who cares? There's some scenes in it that are pretty awesome, but overall, the movie's pretty boring. And the thing doesn't seem like it's that. What's that?
I agree with you.
Okay, let me counterpoint.
I'm not a huge fan of the movie. I think it is slow and boring.
Let me counterpoint here. The beginning of the movie is boring as sin. When they're trying to explain to us evolution, you're just like, Judas, please, can we get on with the movie? But once they actually get there to the lagoon and they're starting to deal with the creature, I think it's pretty good. So half the movie's good.
Mm-hmm. That other one that you just showed, Art, where you were looking down on him, that's from the sequel.
Okay, the design looks a little different. But the thing is, the thing is, the swimming scenes with the murky water and stuff was so iconic. Like, it just transcended the entire movie. And is it that movie where the guy has the little rinky-dink rifle and he's shooting at the thing when it's coming out of the water, and it's just so freaking hokey. It's like, even in the day, it had to have been hokey because.
Wait a minute. What do you mean rinky-dink rifle? He had a Winchester.
That thing was rinky-dink, man.
Like a 44-40 slug, man. 30-30 at the smallest.
Yeah, maybe they should have amped it up. They should have made it bigger or something. Yeah,
I love it. That thing was rinky-dink. Hey, it was no gun like Tim Wall's had. Come on.
Yeah, his was bigger.
Yeah,
actually.
because this one worked.
That's right.
Well,
this guy knew how to load it.
Yeah, there was a functional guy, behind the trigger. But yeah, I always thought like it was one of those things, like brilliant design, like brilliant underwater stuff. I remember, like, even as a kid, I was into behind special effects and things like that, and I was like, how did they do that? Did the guy have some kind of equipment on him so he could breathe underwater? Was it they just had these little moments in time? So I still don't know. Did he have a tank on? Did he have a respirator?
When you see that back hump, there's a tank, and there's air holes that'll come out towards his head.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's two guys that played the creature. And the way you can tell is you count the chest scales, because one guy was 6'5" and the other guy was 5'8".
What?
And the guy who was 5'8" was the swimming creature. The guy that was 6'5" was the land creature. Rico Browning was the swimming guy, and he was an underwater showman, photographer, and he actually did the underwater scenes for Thunderball. And the guy on land was Ben Chapman. He was a guy from Hawaii who bit player and stuff. And
you go through the trouble making two suits. Why wouldn't you just scale it appropriate for the smaller guy or the larger, whatever? So it has the same amount.
One was a swimmer, and and the other guy wasn't. You know,
It's not like
but if you're making two suits, you can just scale it and go, okay, he's got.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Right. I'm saying if from collarbone to crotch, he's got like 5 plates. You go, okay, this dude it's smaller, 5 plates.
Right. Just smaller plates. So
they probably just took the small one and then just added a couple plates for the bigger guy. You know,
what if in fiction world, when he gets out on land, he grows plates?
Oh, the cold water shrinks him down.
That's right.
Yeah. So he is a gill man.
He is.
If you guys look real close, like the tall guy, he has more zippers in his suit than the shorter guy.
Okay, that's how you know.
I've never even noticed the zippers ever.
I didn't either until you.
No, thanks for
ruining
it.
Until you just said, now probably every time I see it, I'll be counting them.
Every time you watch the movie, you'll be like, I see it.
That was a publicity still.
Drinking game.
I wonder if in the movie you can see it.
Can't see it. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
It's Aaron's turn.
Aaron, you get another one?
I got my first one.
Oh, your first one. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Oh, is it in there?
Yeah, it's in
there.
there.
Yeah.
And it better be a good one.
Oh, do you want to give it any kind of
well, I'll just say this. This kind of us like leave it to Graham to pick one older than mine, which this is 1931, so it's going to be I thought certainly no one's going to be older than me, but
I'm sure we know what this is now.
Graham proved it. So
Frankenstein.
This is, well, go ahead and show it. And I've got some more commentary.
Oh, hey, ladies,
Dr. Or Mr. Hyde.
Yeah, Frederick March and his Academy Award-winning performance.
That's right.
Which he split with what was that dude's name? The one for that boxer movie. He was terrible in that movie, by the way.
Was it Wallace Beery?
Yeah, the champ.
Yeah.
He was like
they shared an award.
Yeah, they both won. Wallace, give me a freaking break. This was a great performance.
It was Jackie Cooper that sold that movie.
Yeah, the little kid.
Was it Coogan? Jackie Coogan, right? Or was it Jackie Cooper?
No, it was Superman's editor.
Yeah. Okay, Jackie Cooper.
Yeah.
So this is good makeup. I gotta admit, I've seen it before. It is cool, but this still that you chose, he looks like a freaking creepy pedo.
He does.
Here's the thing.
Happy.
I was looking for a particular. There's stages to this makeup because they wanted him as every time he turned into Hyde, he became more primal or ape-like.
Magnum.
And so early on when he has kind of the pointed chimp head and stuff, I'm like, when he gets ragged like this at the end, this is when it to me is my favorite makeup of the various stages of makeup is when the hair is going and he's just and again
like
this is
chops.
Huh?
The chops.
Yeah. This is like 1931 and this was not, Graham, correct me if I'm wrong, but this was not Jack Pierce who did this.
I was going to ask you who did the makeup for this because
this was Paramount.
Yeah.
It wasn't Universal, and he would have been over at Universal.
Right.
Unless they loaned him out.
Is this the same one where he wore the top hat?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the thing that makes the design for me. It's like he's all gentlemanly, like he's got a top hat, this nice suit, and he's got this like horrific face. Like
and then he gets his hooker and beats the crap out of her. Yeah.
Now here's a question, because I don't remember. Was this silent or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
And it was I mean, you've probably seen the Spencer Tracy version, which sucks, even though it has great people in it.
Yeah, it does stink.
This is a pre-code dark movie.
Yes.
This is, I mean, it's funny, if you go back far enough and get around code restrictions, you can get some pretty heavy stuff, like really early in cinema. And this is a very sensual and dark film.
Hyde rapes a girl.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay, because like when you say pre-code, I know there wasn't obviously the rating system back then. So, what else about it was like if this came out today, that the way it is right now, would you give it an R or PG-13?
I'd be PG-13 probably
PG-13.
because of the violence.
Yeah.
And the violence against women.
Yeah.
But like the first scene where, I don't know what you think, Graham, because I keep saying Graham because I know Graham's seen it, but
Right.
when Dr. Jekyll or Jekyll goes in and first meets Miriam Hopkins and takes her into her room and she's trying to seduce him, that is a pretty for that period of time, that's a pretty sexualized scene, don't you think?
Yeah, well, yeah, he's a man in another woman's bed. That's there because they're sitting on the bed.
Yep.
And she pulls up her skirt like way up on her thigh.
Yeah.
And she's trying to get him to touch it, like I think she hurt her leg or something, right?
Yeah, right.
And he's got to tend to her leg, so he's got to touch her thigh. And I think her neckline was plunged and stuff, and she was definitely giving off the vibes that she wanted a little Hyde.
Yeah, and that swinging leg as he's leaving the,
yeah,
because he's engaged, but he
sounds tame now, but when you see it, you can tell, it was definitely a pre-code.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you put it in the context of that period of time, and you're like, wow,
they used to show boobs too in the pre-code movies.
Yeah,
did they?
Oh yeah, Hedy Lamarr. Well, that was a German film. But yeah,
it's Lever.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there's a lot of. How many rounds of movies are we doing? Just the one?
Well, I had a bonus one.
No, I've got another one.
Okay,
yeah, I got one.
I have
too.
a bonus one. That it's. I don't know if the design is a great design, but as far as movie monsters go, this guy takes the cake. He's a total monster. This is Grandpa Joe.
I knew it.
From Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
You think he's a monster? Uncle Joe?
Grandpa Joe, who'd been sitting around in bed, not doing anything for the home. They're eating nothing but cabbage every day because they're poor. Soon as Charlie gets that golden ticket, dude, he hops out of bed and starts dancing, and he's ready to go. And
well,
then
it took him a while to get the engine going, but yeah.
Yeah, no. He hopped out of fucking bed. He does a whole fucking diggity dance, and then he convinces Charlie to steal fizzy lifting drinks. What could it hurt, Charlie? Piece of shit. Sorry, he's a monster.
He's a monster.
He's a monster.
Oh, that's funny.
My Lord.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Well, you can bring mine up if you want.
Okay.
This was great. I saw it in the theaters when it came out. Love this movie and still dig it. And when they finally showed the full transformation, I was like, oh, geez. The Fly.
Oh, yeah.
Brindlefly.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah, man. When they and even, when I first was doing a Google search, just the makeup they did on Goldblum's face and stuff and like mid-change was just gross.
Yeah.
But
what's great about this design is you can still see Jeff Goldblum in it.
Oh yeah, the eyes. It's the eyes.
It's the eyes.
Oh my gosh.
remember when he what was it? Was it who like a fly, he spits up and the acid dissolves whatever.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Remember when it
Who did he do that on
hand?
in this movie?
A girl, wasn't it a woman?
No, it was the guy that was like not her boyfriend, but the guy that was angling to kind of
Davis. He threw up on his arm and made his hand dissolve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then one guy, he ends up barfing on his face.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, and then the guy's face starts to melt.
And that's all practical stuff back then.
The lights,
so,
I've seen this when I was younger and I'd go, out to bars when 2 a.m. They're like, the lights come on, you gotta go home. This shit is real.
Yeah. David Cronenberg, man, he does some screwed up stuff,
Yeah, he's a
twisted
dude, man.
Videodrome. Didn't he do Videodrome too?
Yeah. That's on my list this year. That's coming up in about a week.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And they did a sequel. Remember the sequel they did to this that just wasn't nearly as good?
You can't.
I never watched it.
Yeah, you can't. There's certain movies.
You know what amazes me? What I would watch when I was younger and what I won't watch now. Like, I probably would not watch this movie right now because it's just too gross. It would gross me out. But when I was like 20, when it came out or whatever, I was like, yeah.
See, that's where we differ. I stayed away. Like, I didn't really start getting into gross stuff until later. When Dennis gets back from his umpteenth vacation of the year, we're going to go see Terrifier 3. I can't wait.
I don't even know what that is.
Is that the clown movie?
Yeah. The first 5 minutes of it, people were throwing up and walking out of the theater.
Yeah, I heard people said they were like watching people run out of the theater.
Yeah, first 5 minutes. And that's not even the worst part from the interview I saw with the guy that plays him. So can't wait.
Gross.
It's a slasher thing. So
I think I'll wait till you see it and then get your take.
It'll be next week. Next week. So there you go. There's another one.
Yeah,
that's a good one. Oh, oops. Sorry. Hit the wrong button.
We went and saw Dawn of the Dead when I was, I think, 14. When did that come out? No, it was 1980, wasn't it? The original? Oh, 79. 78? The original Dawn of the Dead, the Romero version? Was that 78?
I think it was 78 or 79.
Yeah, okay. So I would have been, 14. And I was like, we almost puked at the opening scene where, when I say we, I mean me. And they were in that rundown tenant building, and the guy comes in and takes like a bite of his wife's trapezius and just rips it off.
Pulls it off.
But then by the end of that movie, I was so desensitized, it didn't bother me. But man, I don't know if I could sit through that right now.
You know what's weird? I remember watching these movies when I was a kid, and I don't really remember being grossed out. As long as I knew that, as the more far-fetched the concept was, the less I was engaged with the violence and all that other stuff. Right. So all those slasher movies and stuff, it was all just fun because it was all kind of ridiculous anyway.
Yeah,
but
like a comedy.
There was one movie that actually I almost got up and walked out of, and it's not a horror film, but we were talking about RoboCop. Is when RoboCop is getting shot.
That dude they blow his hand off.
That scene goes on and on and on.
Oh yeah.
And I heard there's a longer cut of that thing.
Paul Verhoeven, man.
Yeah, I was just about to get up when they cut that scene. So they must have did test screenings and see how they tolerate. Yeah, whether that line right there, because I tell you, they brought me right up to that line because I was like, oh, okay, now they changed the scene. Okay, I'm there.
Well,
yeah,
I'm glad. Go ahead.
Torture really bothers me now.
Yeah, that's the stuff that bothers me too. When I was a kid, Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, those guys didn't scare me because they're slow runners. I wasn't having teenage sex or taking drugs, so I was sort of safe. But Freddy Krueger.
Look at you now.
Yeah, right. Still not having sex. Freddy Krueger, the fact that he could get you in your dreams was enough. Because that came out when I was 11 or 12. That was enough to bother me.
The gimmick was you couldn't fall asleep.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have to fall asleep. I mean, that's how we're designed. That's how we're created. So the fact that these kids, the torture part was not just what Freddy did, but it was keeping those kids up. You know what I mean? keeping them awake and all that other stuff. It's like mental torment. And the first couple, like Nightmare, what was it? Nightmare on Elm Street?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare Before Christmas Street.
Before Christmas Street, yeah. Celebrate, yeah.
Yeah.
All the way up to Dream Warriors.
Yeah, the Dream 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. Where they're in the mental hospital and stuff. But that, when Johnny Depp, the blood, when he's like listening to the music and then the blood just
he goes down into the bed and stuff.
How the fuck did they do that? Did they turn the room upside down and just dump a red water bed?
Yeah.
You know? I'm your boyfriend.
I think
now,
they actually did.
Is that what they did?
For
the bathtub scene?
When you said it, it rang a bell. I think they did do that.
Yeah.
They just
man,
built
that
the
was
stuff.
just disgusting.
And then the first Halloween was pretty good, just as far as a suspense, like thriller type of movie. It's not so much of a horror film as much as it was just kind of a suspense.
Yeah.
So you're not buying it? You're not buying it?
I didn't. Those movies used to make me laugh. I'm like, you're going into the don't go there, you dummy.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, what's her when a young girl babysitter can take the villain out with a knitting needle.
Great music.
You know what's interesting? If you get on the other side of this stuff, like when my son was interning down at the special effects place in Burbank, they were out like 2 a.m. or something filming this horror film sequence, like to test out this special effects monster they'd made or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so Josh is back there and they're just like, he's pumping the blood machine, right? That's gushing out of this guy's chest as the monster rips through it. There's like, we need more blood, Josh. And he's like, ah! You know? It's like, it just takes the edge off everything when you take a step back and see what's the magic that's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, the worst part about it, like those special effects guys, is they do research. So this rated people, like car crashes, shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Those guys do that. My wife Pamela was studying film special effects and makeup, and she had some photos. She couldn't even look at them. Like she had a friend of hers compile them for her. She couldn't even look at them.
Yeah, crime scene photos are horrible.
Yeah. That's real life, man.
Yeah. Well, speaking of real life, I mean, I think this is probably the scariest of them all.
What the fuck is that?
That's the Tabanga, the walking tree.
That's
oh my God.
It's Groot's grandpa.
That's a movie I want to see.
You've never seen From Hell It Came?
No.
Oh my God.
I have seen the Navy versus the Night Monsters, though, which is similar.
This one's a riot, man. It takes place on this island, and this native guy gets sacrificed and he killed, and he vows vengeance, and he comes back as this tree because the tree grows over his body, and then he comes back as this walking tree. It's a great Paul Blaisdell costume design, but it can't move at all. You know, it's just this walking tree. You know, he can't turn. It's how he can grab this girl.
So that girl he's got though is I can't see her face or anything, but I understand his.
She's no keeper.
She's no keeper, really.
Nah,
she's no keeper.
Now, for real, this is the gold standard.
Yeah,
for me.
Do you like this better or the bride makeup better?
This.
You do? Okay.
Much better.
Is this the first movie?
Yeah.
Is the bride one a little more marked and
well, he's got the gray, I don't know if it's mud or whatever in his hair and some
his hair is burned off.
Yeah.
His hair is burned off because of the windmill, and the stuff on his face are burns. You know, burns on his face, and he's got burns on his arms and all this kind of stuff.
Well, didn't Boris also, for the first one, he lost a bunch of weight, right? Like the rest of them, he had more weight on him, didn't he?
Yeah, he didn't lose weight for this. He was already a starving actor, so he didn't really have any money, so he was already thin.
Okay.
And if you look on his right cheek there where it's sunk in, You know, there's a little bit of makeup there to kind of enhance it, but he had a bridge there, and he took the bridge out so that it would sink in. And then when other actors played the monster, like when Lon Chaney came in, now Lon Chaney never skipped a meal.
Yeah.
You know, they would put like a shadow there to indicate like there was this indent, but no, there was probably a piece of pie in there.
Well, that was the effectiveness, I think, of Karloff's monster makeup and why he looks like the Mummy. He looks so good, even though they only show him for like a second. And in this, is because he was so gaunt.
Right. He's never looked as cadaverous as he did here. You know, like his arms are really vascular too. You know, when you see them, I mean, to me, this is my all-time favorite classic monster movie. Is the original.
How old was he when he played him here?
He was old.
He was 40.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see, 31/7 from 50 is he was 43.
Wow.
Oh.
And he was still a starving artist. That's crazy.
That's why I asked.
Yeah, he was just bit. You know, he never was a star. You know, he was just a bit player in lots of movies. You know, but bit players don't get a lot of dough. And then on the strength of this, and then the follow up. I think it was the Old Dark House, and then the Mummy is what really cemented him into the horror genre.
Well, he was almost too old to play the monster by the third movie, right?
Yeah, he turned 50 in when they filmed Son of Frankenstein.
But 50 back then is different than today's 50, though.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, that's the thing, and because I go, man, I'm 51. There's no way. You know what I'm saying? Like, because what 51 looked like back then, like Archie Bunker was like 25.
Yeah, but you were 61 earlier.
Hey.
Yeah.
We don't talk about time travel.
I know it's funny though. You look at like pictures of like your mom in high school, and she looks like she's 25 or 26.
Yes.
It's weird.
There is something to be said about like hunger. Like, I don't mean literally hunger, but when you're working on your career, and you don't have that early success, and it just keeps you hungry. So later in life, you're still like, yeah, I got something to prove. And I always felt like that with Karloff, and he didn't really get the accolades till later in life. So if he would have given up early, he wouldn't have had all that stuff. I mean, even things like what is it? Oh my gosh, what is the Christmas? The Grinch that Stole Christmas.
Oh, the Grinch. Yeah.
I can't imagine that cartoon without that voiceover. I could not imagine. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a mean man, Mr. Grinch.
Well, there is some truth to that. Fritz was a real a-hole.
Fritz.
No, I disagree with that, Brian. Bud Westmore was the most overrated special effects guy. He took credit for everybody. He wouldn't give Millicent Patrick the credit for the creature from the Black Lagoon. He was basically an overseer. And he sold the fact that they got rid of Jack Pierce because he's the guy who introduced the rubber, what do they call that? Latex, masking to put on pieces so that it would speed up the process. But his Wolfman in Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein is nowhere near as good as Jack Pierce's in either Wolfman or Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman.
And quite frankly, bringing up Abbott and Costello is a misstep to begin with. So
I'm giving him credit for that one.
I knew it. That's why I thought you shared
credit on that one.
Yeah, I thought that was.
Doesn't Westmoreland? Didn't he have a studio? Like, I mean, he was kind of like one of those at the time. What do they call those? Like staples of the industry. Like he had
his whole family was all into makeup. You look at all the different studios, and you'll see a Westmore.
Maybe that's it then. Yeah, because I knew there was some kind of legacy. I thought it was maybe a studio, but it might just be the lineage, the family.
It was his daughter or granddaughter used to host that makeup show that was.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I don't know if it was his daughter.
Did she take credit for anything? Or? He was like the Bob Kane of makeup. This guy.
Oh shit!
Where's
you
the
never want that to happen to you.
You know, it's weird because Stan Winston, my friend Mike Smithson, he's got something similar to you, Graham. It's like 31 days of Halloween. But what he does is he's a special effects guy, makeup guy, and so he'll post different iconic, images and behind the scenes stuff and things like that. And so he talks about Stan Winston in a similar way as that Wes Moore guy, where like Stan Winston's studio, those guys ended up doing a bunch of that stuff, and Stan would just kind of be an overseer, and so get a lot of credit for the things that were going on. But
Right.
I mean, he was still a face for the studio. He sold the things. They got a lot of work out of it. So, it is what it is.
Stan Winston is like a brand, like.
But you know what I thought was weird is, like, after he died, they didn't continue the Winston Studios. They called it something else, and I was wondering why they changed the name.
They split, and that's who my son interned for, was Legacy Special Effects, and I think it's the legacy of Stan Winston. They have a picture, that who Krueger is, right? The German caricature artist that does all the Rolling Stones crap. Yes. Well, he did a caricature portrait of Winston, where it's like half Stan's face and half this kind of weird twisted creature thing. And it's about this, I once caught a fish this big. It's humongous. And they have it hanging on their entry wall above the staircase when you walk into their building. So they're very much still, reverent to Stan. But I know there was the other, can't remember what the other studio is, but they kind of, people that work for Stan Winston kind of split and formed two studios. But I think Legacy is more, like where my son was at, is more Winston. I mean, they have all the guys that worked on Jurassic Park are in that studio. And
I know that one guy, like he was getting a lot of attention towards the end. And I think that's the guy that took over for Stan Winston. I can't remember his name, but all those Marvel documentaries.
Alan Grant.
Is that Iron Man guy and all that, when they did the practical effects on Iron Man and stuff? Yeah, I mean, he was very reverent.
No, not Alan Grant. Who? What's the Golden Age Green Lantern? What's his name?
Scott.
Alan Scott.
Yeah, that's the guy who is
the Legacy.
You were there when the Youngblood spaceship got built, right? And the Bad Rock and the Kodiak suit.
Yeah.
Those were done by a guy named Greg Aronowitz, who worked at one of those Winston studios, because I remember we all went down for a visit and like got to look at them do that stuff. I just don't remember the name of the place. Were you on that tour?
Yeah, but that would have been Stan Winston's studio at the time. Like, Stan died more recent.
Okay, then it was Stan Winston's that we went.
Yeah, it was Stan Winston's studio. Cool. But who's the real deal more in a current sense is Rick Baker. That dude is everything that, that dude's a genius. And my friend Mike worked with him. When I was still roommates with Mike in Huntington Beach, he got invited to Rick Baker's Halloween party. It's their type of Christmas. And he said when you drove up to the front of the house, there was a tree and there was a car crashed in the tree and it had its headlights on it and they were all kind of, in different directions. And there's a guy catapulted through the window, all bloody and stuff like that. So then you get in, it's all themed. There's like all these like horror statues and things like that inside the house. And then outside in the pool, the water in the pool is all red and there's like a guy floating face down, in the pool and stuff like that. So Those guys go all out.
Can you imagine getting a call, like the police department getting a call for some reason at the house, like maybe Rick slipped and broke his ankle and called the police to come. And they come and there's this body in the pool and blood everywhere, and the
everything's a crime scene.
Yeah,
everything's a crime scene. It's like, well, yeah, this is not good. Yeah.
You know, you know who doesn't get mentioned very often? It was actually Rick Baker's mentor was Dick Smith.
Oh yeah,
Dick Smith,
who did The Exorcist. But I think he also created the air bladder effect that was used in
Alien,
American Werewolf.
What American Werewolf? That's right.
And that Rick Baker used in American Werewolf. But he created that. And if you want to see a effects makeup movie, check out Altered States. That was Dick Smith's latest, I think his last great piece of work he did. And he was great at age makeup, like Dustin Hoffman and Little Big Man. He aged him. Yeah. And then if you see The Hunger, David Bowie like ages super quick and becomes this, it's just fantastic. So Dick Smith, although he didn't create a ton of monsters like some of these other guys did, he was kind of a forerunner in all of this modern.
Yeah, you can actually follow the lineage from Jack Pierce to John Chambers to Dick Smith to Rick Baker.
Rob Bottin.
Rob Bottin, yeah, yep, and they've
who's the guy? Yeah, who's the guy that did the Planet of the Apes makeup? Because I think he won one of the first Academy Awards.
Yeah, that's John Chambers.
Is that John Chambers?
Yeah, that's John Chambers.
That was great.
Because I as a kid, I'd never seen anything like it. I mean, now it seems kind of corny, the Planet of the Apes and stuff like that. But at the time, I mean, the stuff was moving. Their face was moving, their jaw, all that stuff. They could
deliver lines and emotion through that makeup. I mean,
through the makeup and everything. Yeah, it was pretty pioneering. Yeah.
And Baker, speaking of Baker, he did his own version of Planet of the Apes, the Tim Burton one that sucks, but the makeup is so good, it's worth watching just for it's incredible.
Yeah. My friend Mike worked on it, and he told me, he's like, yeah, I got a new gig. I'm working on the new Planet of the Apes at Tim Burton. I go, oh, cool, man. You're going to be able to do like, all that your idols. You're going to be able to do this, monkey makeup and stuff. He goes, no, I'm doing the leads. So he just did the
he does Marky Mark.
Yeah, Marky Mark.
He didn't get to do any of the monkeys.
He didn't get to do any of the cool stuff. Yeah.
He just goes like this and dabs Mark Wahlberg's face. And okay.
Yeah. You look good. Move on.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, when they did Congo, they adapted Crichton book Congo. And I love Stan Winston, don't get me wrong, but they had Stan Winston do that, and Baker was always like, I'm the monkey guy in Hollywood. If you want your monkeys to look good, you get me. And he didn't get that job, and he was very bitter about it. And I shouldn't say he was very bitter, but at the time he was upset about it. And I think he made some sort of comment. Yeah, I would have looked a whole lot better if they'd hired me like they should have in the first place. That was kind of funny, but yeah. So
he wants Rick Baker. Amy wants Rick Baker.
Well, Rick Baker he did Gorillas in the Mist, which was the whole movie was kind of like, if that stuff didn't work, that movie wasn't going to work. And if anybody wants to, Rick Baker is a good artist. Look at his ape, chimpanzee, all his monkey drawings and stuff like that. Guy knew that shit, and he could draw the hell out of it. That's one thing that a lot of those, like my friend Smithson, Mike, that guy can draw. Like a lot of those guys, they're not just sculpt. Those guys can draw. Like it's
if you're not following him on Instagram, you should be, because this stuff he posts.
Yeah, he posts some amazing stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to comics.
Oh, I didn't do my I thought we were doing two. I got one more.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought everybody went. Go ahead, Art.
Yeah, I'll do it real quick. It shouldn't take too long, because it's my go-to, but I still think it's quite inspiring, and it was absolutely horrific the first time I saw it on the big screen.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
The Geiger design.
That guy's work is creepy.
He's
creepy. That guy's not right.
He's a horrifying design. It's just
Wait, he's dead
weird.
now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we can speak
okay.
poorly of him.
Right, that's what I thought.
But look at that head. I mean, where are the eyes on that thing? Does it have eyes?
I don't know.
It's got to have eyes.
I imagine
got
they're
a
behind
mouth.
that really cool
it could have
sunglass thing.
sense.
Yeah, that's true.
You know
okay,
what?
where's the nose?
Aaron, every time I see this stuff with all this goop coming off, I'm going to think of your poor son, like just pumping this stuff out of these.
More ooze.
We need more goo.
And that shit is always so thick too. You know,
It's like corn
syrup
most
comes
of the
out of
time.
their mouths. You know, it's like
KY jelly.
Yeah.
Just throw it on
Yeah,
there.
just stuff like
Nasty.
that. It is gross when you think about it.
Yeah. But this is pretty intricate, and I like the way Ridley shot the first movie, you know, where it's really in shadow and there's a lot of mystery and stuff. I mean, later, I think the movie's lost a little bit when you see them. But I mean, when Cameron did it, that was the point, because there were so many. The threat was more that there were so many of them. But I think Ridley Scott's is still the best.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find a lot of good photos of it, which is really strange. But just absolutely terrifying design. And then the mouth, you know, the one that comes out and then just strikes you. And it's always like really personal, like right in the face. Like that thing will just like bite your
gotta
mouth
get you in the
mouth.
face.
A mouth within a mouth. That was a great design, a great idea to have like the extra set of jaws coming out of there.
Check out Six Gun Gorilla, guys, if you haven't. It's really good. I mean,
Hey, speaking of campaigns, you should check on yours, my friend.
Yeah, Six Gun Gorilla.
Check on yours, Graham.
Yeah. Speaking of campaigns, let's do a little business, shall we, gentlemen?
Business.
Yeah. Let's do business. Okay, first we'll refresh this and see if anything's happened. 16,
Well,
8,
refresh
10.
it while you're live.
Whoa, we're almost at 18.
Well, sure.
Yeah, but we can't see it.
You got to share
shit.
it. I was trying.
You know what? I have it in two different screens, and I just refreshed the wrong one. Hold on.
That's a Billy Tucci type excuse, if I ever heard one.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. And
Billy just wants to show off that he's got two screens.
There it is. Okay. All right. Now I got it.
I hate that drop down.
Yeah, I know. There it is. Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
1795. Yeah.
17.
So you are stone's throw away from 18K. That is awesome. 312 backers.
How late you going tonight, Graham?
I don't think I'm gonna go that late. I'm pretty tired from just the day. My eyes are a little peaked, so
I hear you.
I might just go till we're done with our show, and then
well, we should be able to get to 18 obviously by 18.
Oh
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Graham, play the video. The video is freaking awesome.
Yeah, let's do that. You know what? It'll be easier if I just do it on this.
Yeah, go big or go home.
All right.
Nice.
High adventure, my friends. This is the we'll do a little pitch here. The Return to Monster or Escape from Monster Island is the third part of a Monster Island trilogy that I've been working on for many, many years, since 1998, and finally finishing up the last part of the trilogy here. Am I sharing the screen here?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so when you first get into the campaign, if you're going there for the first time, you'll get an introduction by me. In case you don't know who I am, a little intro about my bona fides, and then we talk about the book. I tried to keep it very simple so that there's not a lot of reading. It's a lot of visuals and stuff. It makes it easier to follow. But look out! Monster Island has been sabotaged by the Anarchons. Our heroes find themselves stranded in the outer reaches of the galaxy in search of a rare element they need to power their engines. The inhabitants of the mining planetoid Thog reach out to the island and offer their services, but at what price? Not all is as it seems, but Mac and Duke must procure the Sagadium, for without it, there is no escape from Monster Island.
Was there ever a point, Graham, where you thought about calling this Return of the Anarchons?
I did, Aaron, but I'm not one of the body, so. So I do away with those first tiers of stretch goals because I just add them in automatically. It's part of how I run my campaigns. So whenever you get your first book or whatever, you already get the stretch goals of the bookmark, the vinyl logo sticker. I've already upgraded the paper stock and the UV coating on the cover. So all that comes with it right from sale number one. And then we'll add other stretch goals as we go on. An easy way to see the 3 covers right here. There's actually 4 covers, but one is the frame version, and we'll get to that in a sec. So we got main cover A, this distressed cover, and to make it look old and beat up. So Aaron, if that ever gets like anything above a 5.2 in your
yeah. I don't know if I could ever buy the distress cover. I just don't know that
it would distress
even if he got it graded at a 9.8, just seeing it distressed would cause
seeing it looking distressed with the paper off, would
cause me
crazy.
Distress. It would cause me distress.
And then we got a really wonderful cover by Butch Geis here. And this is, I think, one of the most interesting things. And this is the rarest of Monster Island covers. This is from 1998. This was a retailer incentive cover that I sent to retailers with the first Monster Island. For every 10 copies that they ordered, they got one of these. So it was an incentive for them to get 10 copies so they have this rare one. Less than 500 were ever made. I have 40 of them. And they're all going to be signed and slabbed, so it's like the ultimate collector's item there. If you really want to have that really rare Monster Island book.
Graham, if you'd have 35 of them, and 5 could be great Christmas presents for the bros. Just saying. Anyhow, continue.
Thank you, Andy. I'll take that under consideration.
Take that under advisement.
All Andy needs for Christmas is a bunch of good and plenty. That's
right. I still have some. I might mail them back to you if I get you this year.
And I have never sold any original art for any of the Monster Island books. I own every sketch, every cover, every interior page. But since this was the end of it, the trilogy, I thought I'd put one page up, and that's the cover for the distressed book. So you'll get the original art. It's pen and ink on Bristol. It's got the Compass Comics logo on the Bristol, and then the book itself, in which the cover was shot from. So there's only one, obviously, and it'll be the only Monster Island artwork out there. Here's sample pages, but I'm going to actually do better than that because I have some larger versions to show you that it'd be easier to see. So we'll start with this one here. This is going to be a funny setup because they've just found out that they got to go down this planetoid and get this rare element. And so the Gooch want our 3 heroes here to go do it because they're timid.
The Gooch.
Yeah. So they need to have pressure suits because they're going into space to get down to the planetoid. So Duke and Rooster here decide that we'll do the designs, and Mac, you go familiarize yourself with the controls of the craft. So she doesn't trust him, and so he goes off to go do all the design work. Now he comes up.
Yeah.
I knew it, Andy. During Graham's show, I said that looks like an Andy Smith design.
Yeah,
I love it.
And you literally said, "I love it."
I saw it when I was on with him earlier, and my first thought was I might have to do a drawing of both of them, but she's wearing that one.
Yeah, why not? So, she doesn't want to come out and show herself, and she's like furious at him. She gives him the good clop here in the face, and then obviously here we see her in her actual flight suit.
Yeah. The zipper broke.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that plane jet thing.
Yeah.
I know. Can you blow up on that? Because I really want to see more of the coloring on it. Because
you know what?
Does a great job.
Yeah,
making it look kind of rusty and rustic and stuff.
Yeah, the patina on it is brilliant.
Oh, it's like it only goes in those two things. It's like super big. This rust here was I put that on I do gray tones over it.
Oh,
so I put the gray tones on when on a separate layer to help Greg with color, like where different planes are. Like all these gray tones here were put on in the black and white layer, and then he colors over them.
Hey, Art, what was that big word you used? I was pretty impressed.
Patina. I love that word. That's somebody who knows what he's talking about.
It's somebody
remembered their calendar word for the day from this morning when they got up.
How no? Patina is
that was the other day. That was last week's word.
Patina is a word that old people use to describe things that have an age, and only they can use it.
It's a nicer, softer word.
Patina.
Yeah. So they get into the spaceship and off they go to the planetoid, and we see this character who's called Horn Dog.
I like to try to make up. Yeah. To make up for like what he did to her, he's putting the helmet on her, all like, "I got you, sweetie. I got you
again. Here, let me help you out."
Yeah, she's like, "Are you sure you can fly this thing?" And she just goes, "Watch me, hotshot." Because in the original Monster Island, they're naval aviators, but they flew F-14 Tomcats, which were the Navy interceptors at the time, and those were two-seaters. So Duke was the pilot, and she was the Rio, the radar intercept officer. Well, by the time I got around to doing Return to Monster Island, the Navy had mothballed the F-14s and started using the F-18s, and that's a single-seater mostly. So I had to figure out a way to get them in a modified F-18 so that the two of them could be together and crash land on the island for the second book. So I discovered there's a radar jamming version of the F-18 called a Growler. So I had them in a Growler. But that's all to say that, the radar intercept officer is a pilot as well. They work the radar, but they're also qualified as pilots. So, for her to step into the pilot's seat is not an issue. And then
is that suit suit she's wearing, is that kind of keeping up with the times and this administration? Is it built for pregnancy?
Or for a package downstairs?
Damn.
Wow. Well, since Duke designed it, I guess he probably knows what she's got and knows what he's got. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it, Andy.
You're sticking to it.
Yeah.
The covers are amazing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I love them. Yeah. That shadow is
the most.
A lot of fun. It kind of shows all the new characters, these trogs that are the underground creatures. They have like a Roman society underground, and they're people that come looking for material on their planetoid end up getting captured and stuck into these death games in the arena, and they all bet on them. And so Mac and Duke could find themselves in this, underground planetoid, with all these with monsters and shit, and they got to fight in this arena for their lives, and that's where they got to escape from. So here's the distressed cover. Look away, Aaron.
Grab your bag to breathe in.
I already saw it. It's too late.
I already saw it.
You notice I put the Proof by the Compass Comics Authority on here so that everybody knows that it's a quality thing that your kids can read.
Yeah, I would never have put that label on a book in this bad a condition. I would have.
Yeah, but they came on the books that way, Aaron. Come on.
That's right. Yeah. Here's the Butch Guys cover. This is really cool.
Oh, that monster's cool.
Yeah, and I love that angle.
Yeah, that's a tough angle.
You know,
that's nice.
I love the colors
underneath,
too.
and you're looking up at them. It's so cool.
Yeah.
And then the final cover is part of the framed series, which I did last campaign. So there's a framed Monster Island, a framed Return to Monster Island, and then I realized, because somebody told me or asked me, "Are you doing a framed version of this one?" And I hadn't planned on it. So last night around 8 or 9 o'clock, I ran down here and put this thing together, and then had to adjust my campaign and put everything on there to get the framed editions on there. Really? So, yeah, it was something. That's a busy night.
Yeah,
it's
these
funny.
things are a little hectic. Yeah.
I was going to say, it's funny how you can start doing, you do several campaigns and you start doing a similar thing in every campaign, and you don't realize necessarily that you've actually created a series of them without even attempting to do it. And then someone's like, "Hey, where's the next frame cover?" You're like, "Don't."
Yeah, exactly. Don't.
I mean,
we just hit 18,000, guys. Excellent.
Nice. Look at you go.
Excellent.
I just realized that on my rate.
Wait, we got to see it. Hit refresh.
It is.
Oh, you just. Oh, okay. I wasn't paying attention. 18. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just
Congratulations.
18,130. It was at 17 before.
Yeah. Cool.
So great. Thank you, everybody in the chat, everybody that has backed this book, all the sign up folks that came in there quick and fast and dirty, got in there. Much appreciated.
Yeah, it's a great looking project. And I mean this in the best of ways. Like, it's got like this great, like, Hanna-Barbera kind of Alex Toth, you know, just good, clean action adventure feel to it. And it's so refreshing to see something like this. You know, there's no snark, there's no cynicism, there's none of that kind of sensibility. It's just good, clean fun. And it looks amazing. And all the villains and the monsters are all just inspired, man. I don't know where you get that shit from, man, because we're all wired so differently, and it's neat to see what we come up with. I'm
trying to do like Kirby monsters from the 60s and Ditko monsters is for this series. It's supposed to be lighthearted, fun adventure. That's how the original book was originally conceived of, as an all ages comic that adults could read on one level and kids could read on another level, the same way they used to read the adventure comics in the newspaper, you know. So that was sort of the blueprint I was going for with this. You know, it's not to be taken seriously. You know, there's satire in here. There's no gore. It's lighthearted, fun adventure stuff, you know.
Yeah, you know what's interesting is you know, Hack Tech Studios, I used to run a studio. I had different people in here. And so Taylor Grosso, who also wrote the first Black and White with me, she's like, "Black and White, that's all I hear. Like, could I read the original 3 from '94?" And I said, sure. So I let her read it. And so then I asked her, like, so what do you think? And she goes, "It's really good." And I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "It's a time capsule. Like, you captured like that time." I go, "It came out in that time." And she go, because I was thinking of retooling Black and White, and I had for like more of a modern audience, you know, to try to like get some of that snark, get some of that more modern sensibilities into it, and just thinking that the audience had moved on. And you know, she's a younger person, like half my age, and she said, "Don't change anything. Write the new series moving forward exactly like this." And then she goes, you know, it's like Big Trouble in Little China, like the first Star Wars, like just it has that kind of feel, just good, clean action adventure fun, you know, not overly angsty or anything like that. And so actually convinced me to kind of keep those sensibilities and gave me the confidence to do it. And I'm so glad that she did. And like like Monster Island has that same feel to it. And I don't know, for some reason, like for me, I felt like I needed to hide from it, like I needed to do something more contemporary, but not realizing that the strength of the concept and just my creativity, like my taste, my likes, that's what it is. You know what I mean? So it's very me, and yours seems like very you. Yeah.
Well, what was that series you did, the Time Cops?
Chrono Mechanics.
Oh, Chrono Mechanics.
That has a very similar feel, I think. You know, it's humorous and you know, cartoony, not too serious. You know, and I love stuff like that. I mean, I find that a lot of comics are too pretentious. Is that they're trying to be something that they're not. And
exactly. Thank you.
Yeah. And they think that, this is edgy or this is adult, you know, because we're doing this, and it's just bullshit. It's more like it's more like adolescent fantasies instead of, you know, like looking at it from a more mature view and saying, okay, you know, sometimes less is actually more mature than putting all that stuff in there, and all that drama, that angst that you know, is manufactured. You know, storytelling is really about honesty. You know, you have to be honest in telling your story, and if you are, and you can bring your readers in with your honesty, they'll, if you sell it right in the way you produce that story, they'll be in on it. You know, they'll believe it because you believe it. You know, and that's important.
And we're all,
I think for a while there, oh, go ahead, Aaron. I'm sorry.
I was going to say real quickly, we're all products of the generation we grew up in and what inspired us, right?
And there's so much crossover, though, too.
Well, there is, but at some point, I mean, there was a point in my career where I was like, I got to get more modern. I got to get more modern. And I just realized, look, I am who I am. Just be as good as you can be with what you are. I am a 70s kid. You see that in my work, but it has a contemporary feel to it, but it still has its 70s. Graham goes back to newspaper strips. That's his jam, if you will. And he comes through in his work. You were a superstar art in the 90s during the Image stuff. That's, you know, and same with Fraga. That's where your stuff comes from. Andy's more of an 80s guy, and that's totally fine. But you gotta, I think as an artist, you just sort of have to accept what you are, then make the best of that, rather than always trying to keep up with the Joneses, because everything comes back around eventually.
Right. And you know who Billy is?
Good.
Billy is a Flintstones kid.
10 million strong.
It's more of a fashion designer.
It's more like fashion art.
Fabric studies.
Studies. Yeah.
But that was a great take, Aaron. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Aaron nailed it. Is that you know, styles come and go. You know, but good is good. You know, Alex Raymond could draw the shit out of anything. But his work is dated in the 40s and 50s, where people were wearing, you know, hats and ties and suits and all that kind of stuff. And he could draw men in those outfits, or women in their dresses and stuff. But if he was here today with those drawing skills, you know, he'd be drawing today's modern fashions and stuff. But, you know, he wouldn't have that over the top, perhaps like let's say a Todd McFarlane exaggeration to his work. But it's beautifully drawn, you know.
That's the crux I fall into is I'm a fan of both. I was more of a fan of the McFarlane exaggerated, you know, over detailed Arthur Adams, Michael Golden, and then finding people like Alex Raymond and guys that were more subtle and more realistic. It just makes you go back to that school, not the school, the schools that Dave Sim talks about. You know, you had the Hal Foster school, and then you had the Milt Caniff school, which was more cartoony, and then Alex Raymond kind of took the two and kind of played with them. So you know, at least that's the way he portrayed it in that the what did they call it, the something death of Alex Raymond.
Mysterious
death. I have the book. It's like literally right over here. It's really good.
Right back there.
It's so good. It's so good. But I don't know. I think we also see things through. We're all essentially directors. All of us are, and authors in the way that we make things the way we want to see them, right? And so I think Aaron was completely spot on. I was raised on, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone and Jean-Claude Van Damme and big, loud, and I came in just as guys like Art Adams and Rob Liefeld and McFarlane were coming in, and that when I see an action sequence, I see it in that way. I don't see it I see it in an over the top way, like an 80s action film, but juiced up, whereas you may see it like combat, like a little more restrained and, clearer. And, it's an interesting take, Aaron. Really.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I don't even think about it anymore. Like I used to get into my head and go, well, I'm going to try to make it this, or I'm going to try to make it that. Now I just kind of trust myself and go with it. Like whatever my tastes are, whatever my gut says, that's kind of what I go with. And I'm finding it so liberating. Like this place in my career after 40 years, I think it's the best place ever. And I think we talked about this early on, Dan. It's just like freedom. It's not just freedom from the rest of the industry, but it's also creative freedom. Like we can think it, we can do it, we can make it. We've cultivated an audience that supports it. I mean, this is the best time for me.
When you're working for a company on their company characters, you're trying to keep your style workable. You're trying to keep it in demand. So you're looking at everybody else who's doing stuff and you're starting to copy what they're doing. So you're really just a homogenized version of whatever it is that's being born at that time.
And I'll tell you what was gasoline on that fire was Wizard magazine.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. That was gasoline on that fire, because you're I gotta be in the top 10, like that this weird mindset. I'm not sure if you guys went through it, but I certainly know us younger guys, the guys in the studio were like, we got to crack that top 10. I want to be in the top 10.
Mm-hmm. Well, where I was going is that now my style is dictated by the story I'm working on. I of all my crowdfunded things, I've done a different style in each one. The Shanu was straight up kind of illustration horror. Alien Alamo was an animated feel to it. Ghosts of Matacumba Key, that had more of a combination of illustration, like traditional comic illustration and cartooning in it. And now the Monster Island series goes back to more of a cartoony style, not animated, but cartoony, where I'm thinking in terms of things that you use as tropes in cartooning, sound effects and bursts and stars over people's heads, and all these little storytelling things that are wonderful staples of cartooning. And who knows, my next one, what style, it'll depend on the story, the kind of style I use to approach it. But as Art said, that's liberating artistically, and it helps you grow as an artist too, to think of things from a different look, a different perspective, and to draw it differently than you would. Like if I'm drawing something, a horse in a Batman comic, it's not going to look like the horse I drew in Alien Alamo. It's completely different, and that's a lot of fun.
I think the amazing thing about your style and your artistry is just consistency. So it doesn't matter what style you're drawing, you get it straight every panel, every line. And that, I'll tell you, anybody who's listening, that is really hard to do. That is the hardest thing for me to do, is just to have that kind of consistency. And you nail it each and every time. So when you pick up, a Monster, Island book, it's it's a Monster Island book. You know what I mean? It's not the Chenoo. It's not any of these other concepts. And you can say that about each and every one of them. And I really like that. And I just wish I was faster, because I would love to just be shifting from black and white to chrono mechanics, black and white chrono mechanics, because I'm kind of wired the same way, Graham. You're just better and faster at it than I am. Yeah.
Well, your work that, you know what, you should share that while we've got everybody here. The black and white cover that you're working on.
Oh man!
Yeah.
I shared that work in progress a few days ago, man.
I got this ready. I can find the other. So I've been working on trying to. You guys have been inspiring me to put the title and like the corner boxes in there. So I've been working.
That's cool.
I've
been working with Joe Bernardo. Actually, Joe's got some hidden skills, you guys. And I put this corner box together with him, and the Sins of the Father, like title type there. And then this one, I really, really dig the way this one came out. This is for the animated adventures. So here's kind of what we're talking about, like drawing in a different style. So this is kind of drawing in more of an animated style.
Can you blow that up?
Yeah.
That's cute. And I mean that in a good way.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So we got the High Octane Adventure. So this is High Octane 2, Electric Boogaloo. And so we got little variations of the corner box here. And of course the logo. So I'll come back and I'll see if I can find that image for you guys. The one that you're talking about.
Yes, please.
What do you mean you'll try and find it?
It's
got to be right there.
It's a work in progress. How do you not know where it is?
Right.
No, I delete things. Like I just kind of save it.
Go to the King's room where you shared it.
Yeah, there you go.
Jeez, Art. Well, let's show comic book monsters while we're waiting for Art.
Yes,
okay,
yeah.
Go on up there, Aaron.
All right. Well, this isn't going to shock anybody, but
let me guess.
Oh, I know.
No, don't ruin it for people who don't know at home, which is everyone.
Actually, that's not
There
what.
you go.
Oh wait.
Oh, I know what it's going to be then.
Oh, okay. That's not what I was expecting.
Really?
I was expecting that white furry dude that you love.
Yeah, but now I know what his second is. I bet
it's tough. It's tough for me.
I think I'm right in my mind.
What's the white furry dude's name?
Zemnu, the Living Titan. Come on, Graham.
Where it is.
With the Living Titan. Yeah, who can forget that?
Not me.
Not Aaron.
Okay, go ahead and share that.
Okay.
Graham. It's the man thing.
I knew it.
Knew it.
Come on. Yeah, he's a ripoff of the Heap, but who cares?
Yeah, but the Heap didn't have that penis face.
Yeah, you get
right.
that plug. The thing about Man Thing is that you, with that big old nose and the droopy things and all that, it seems so simple, but there's a million different ways you can play this character. And you can veg him up or you can glop him up, and those big eyes, and I don't think there's a monster I enjoy drawing more than the Man Thing. So I'm going with Man Thing. Even though I'd love to see Man Thing fight Zemnu.
Is it Zemnu or
it's
Zemnu?
Zemnu, the living. Well, that's how I pronounce it.
So wait, it's Zemnu?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, you're right.
Zemnu, the Living Titan versus the Man Thing. Come on.
You know what I like about the Man Thing is, like, if you look at him from a side view, he's got a really interesting shape because the head is down below the back.
You're right. He has this big hunchback thing,
like a hunchback, and he's got that bump that comes up, and then he's really buff and big, and shaggy. He looks much more intimidating than Swamp Thing to me. It looks like he can kick the shit out of Swamp Thing.
Yeah. This is my guy. It's been my guy for years. And if I was gonna do, like, my ultimate team up book would be Howard the Duck and Man Thing.
So is this your giant size Man Thing?
I'd like to think so.
So you're a Gerber fan.
So what issue is this?
Yes, I think it's 6.
Those are both
5 or 6.
Gerber.
I can't read it.
Gerber
I was just curious because it's funny because I like it as well. And a part of me was like, I should pull it up and go, oh, we're doing comics now. Oh, let me go first.
Yeah,
I knew this was being your weapon of choice.
No.
So I was like, Aaron can have it.
Oh, this is see, this to me is harmless horror, which is like my favorite kind of horror now. It's like, yeah, it's kind of creepy. But it's kind of fun at the same time. You know, it's just real dark and evil and gross. It's just kind of fun.
That's like the Universal monsters are like that. I mean,
yes,
maybe in 1931 you were scared when you saw it for the first time, but even by the time we saw it in the 70s, that stuff, it really didn't scare us. It was more like,
oh no, it was just cool. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah,
and I think there is something to be. I mean, I know there's people that really love going to a movie and being scared as possible, but there's also kind of this kind of comfort of being able to go see a movie that's going to give you some of that, but you still kind of feel safe in it, you know? And that's kind of like monster comics were for me back then. It was just kind of like, oh, I can play with monsters, but I'm really not going to get hurt.
Right. You know what's a really good one is The Conjuring. It's not gory. It's just scary. You know, there was a sequence there where you're in the room and in the background is like a armoire, and the person is looking around the room, and as you're staring, you know the camera isn't moving, and then you look up on top of the armoire and there's this creature sitting there. And I mean, my hair on my arms went up when I first saw that, and I was like, it's like I was seeing it, but the character wasn't seeing it yet, and I'm like, piss out of me, but it was so cool. Yeah, love that.
So there you go.
That's all right. That's a good one.
You can pull mine up. I knew he was going to go with that. This is one I remember from the series when I was a kid. Rom, the Dire Wraiths. So it was just different. You know, it's not like it was super. I mean, it's an alien, but it's not super, scary or anything. But it was just, it was different from just, the typical like human type form with a different face or something.
Right.
So because I'll be honest, I didn't read a lot of the monster stuff back then. I knew Man-Thing, I thought about pulling up Swamp Thing, but I like Swamp Thing, but there's nothing. I mean, he's cool looking, but at the same time, if you just cover his face, you're just like, oh, it's a big dude. That's great.
It's a bodybuilder with some
right.
Yeah.
But I do like Bernie Wrightson's version the best. So this was difficult because I was like, well, what is stuff I remember from, the superhero stuff I read, and the Dire Wraiths was one. So there you have it.
Okay.
Yeah, you could do this as a Halloween costume. It looks like just a big oversized hoodie that he's got on, right?
Yeah, sure.
All right, Graham, share this real quick before we go on to our next contestant. Okay, come on.
Oh, that's great.
Now, when Gil Kane's drawn Zemnu, you gotta love Zemnu, right? Come on now.
Yeah, no, I love that cover. I love the Hulk. I love his muscles. Because I didn't always like Gil Kane's Hulk, but I like this cover.
Yeah,
you know what it is? It's that Vinnie Coletta ink job on it. Vinnie did a good job on this one.
This isn't Coletta.
I think it is.
It feels like Coletta in the shoulder and elbow and Hulk.
Look at the rendering on the Hulk.
Bobby ever did.
That looks too consistent. Those background figures look too good for Coletta.
Maybe two people were.
Yeah, but you got to remember what time period this came out. This was,
this was 72.
Yeah.
That left arm with that pointing finger in perspective, I copied that so many times.
It's good. It's a good one.
Well, hey, you know what? Keep at it, Aaron. You'll get it right someday.
See, I was right. It wasn't
Ralph Reese. Yep.
Ralph Reese.
You're right.
I like Ralph Reese. I think Ralph Reese is good.
I don't even know who he is.
You know what? It looks more contemporary. The lines are very.
I thought the same.
Yeah.
Didn't Ralph Friesink issue a Conan over Gil?
He might have.
Yeah, I think it was like a Savage Sword, wasn't it?
No, I mean,
Conan the
it
Barbarian.
was when Gil filled in on a few issues when Barry Windsor Smith was doing it early on in the teens. I think it was Ralph Reese. Somebody in the chat, Marcus, will let us know.
The Killigrew.
Chris the Hacker says Coletta would have erased most of the kids in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the other giveaway. There's way too many figures back there.
Too much work here.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Hey,
that's good.
I just realized my first comic book, my first professional printed work was a horror of sorts book. Inhumanoids. So when you showed that piece, Andy, I was like, that looks like a Humanoids design. So it was based on a toy line, and Marvel was putting out, I think it was a cartoon show as well, and there was a toy line, and it was called the Inhumanoids. And there was it was kind of like just a fun monster story where there was, I don't even really know the concept, but there was kind of like these adventurers, and it's kind of like a Monster Island type of idea. And there's a bunch of these different monsters. And there was one guy that he was kind of like this T-Rex looking guy. He had an open rib cage, and he could kind of put like these guys into his rib cage and stuff. And yeah, all kinds of weird stuff. Yeah,
that's creepy.
All right, Dan.
I know exactly what you're talking about,
right?
Yeah,
I do.
Right.
This it goes back thematically. You'll see that I just have a thing for these thing type monsters.
Yes.
Things.
Yeah. So this was
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I bought this when it was brand new. And the thing that's really cool is sort of the evolution of this thing. You know, it starts off like this kind of gloppy, monstery guy, and then he just slowly evolves over time to become this thing, and then he eventually turns into like this alien looking thing, almost like Geiger looking, right?
Yeah.
And then he turns into this dragon, which is just fucking awesome. Look at Bernie.
Look at
Bernie,
that.
Bernie crushing things. Let's fit to width. Let's get a real good look at it.
Oh,
I mean, this was my introduction to Bernie Wrightson. You know, you talk about things that influenced you. There's one shot where Spider-Man is getting blown away. That's the one. Do you know how many times I drew that? That was that from this one. This was my Zandu. Is that his name? Zamadou? Is it Zandu? Who's your guy, Aaron?
Aaron's guy.
Who?
Aaron Xanadu.
Zebnu.
Oh, Zebnu.
Zebnu. This was my Zebnu's left hand.
Here's the question: what wasn't it Spider-Man and somebody else in this graphic novel, or was it just Spider-Man?
No, it's just Spidey. It was it's called Hooky.
Yeah. No, I remember it. I just.
Oh, wait a minute. Did he throw hand over fist in there? Go back.
It looked like it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Right here.
That's kind of a variation on him for sure.
Yeah.
Look how cool. I mean,
hand over fist is just a big muscled dude.
Yeah. And the thing I liked about this stuff is it's just like form on top of form on top of form. It's just insanely good. And I liked his Spidey. You know, I thought I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. For his work on Spidey, I thought was pretty decent. But yeah, this was one of those sort of like it was one of my expensive books. Look at this thing though.
Who wrote this?
Let's take
Starlin did, didn't he?
Was it Starlin? Let's take a look. Let's go back to the beginning.
Because they were teamed up there for a while. I thought that
seems
Such
like
cool
it has
designs.
a Starlin feel to it. So
the cosmicness of it.
Yeah,
all of that business. I think you're right. Let's take a look. No, Susan Putney. I don't know who that is.
I don't either. How about that?
Oh, look at this. Colors by Bernie and Michelle Wrightson. Okay.
Before they split up.
Yeah, that's more like painting. That's not. I mean, this is colors, but when we start getting into that monster, dude,
that's dragon stuff in the skies. Yeah.
Yeah, this is
No,
She was they blue line that stuff.
Yeah, she was doing watercolors on this stuff. This is not digital coloring.
Oh, of course not. No,
well,
I'm
but
saying,
it's not traditional.
What I'm saying is
blue line.
What I'm saying is like the beginning of this book looked very traditional color wise. And what I mean is, if you go back to the first few pages, as deluxe color as this is still pretty flat, right? But then when you get into our space monster guy, you start seeing some of Bernie's painting skills. Like this is beyond normal comic color. You know, especially getting into this. I mean,
look at that.
Oh yeah.
Look at all the double lighting effects.
It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
It's so good. So that's my comic book monster pick.
Nice.
That's a hard one to follow.
That is good to be hard.
Well, it's weird because it didn't. I remember that graphic novel. It just didn't cross my mind because when I thought of it, I was thinking of like more reoccurring type characters and stuff, not just. But that was awesome.
When I think of monsters, because I'm a lot like you, Andy. I wasn't a monster comic guy. I never bought a Tomb of Dracula, never bought a Werewolf by Night, never bought a single House of anything.
Right.
But I did buy that hooky and you know, and there were, remember what was it called? Inferno. That crossover Marvel did, Inferno. Yeah, but it had crossed over into a bunch of shit, and there was like a Spider-Man issue where like New York was taken over by monsters, and I really I dug those.
Was that the Brood or whatever they were called? Those alien type characters?
Well, that's another great monster, man. That's a good one. Holy shit.
See, now Art of Roy said that the alien stuff was after the Brood. I thought Alien was before the Brood because that's kind of where they riffed it from.
Really?
I thought so too. Yeah, I thought it was like their answer to the movie.
Yeah,
well, Alien was 1979.
Right.
Yeah. Was there Brood?
And the Brood wasn't until what, like X-Men 140 something?
Because that was
didn't they first appear in that Christmas one that Terry Austin drew the cover for? I gotta look.
Yeah,
I think you're into the 80s by now.
That's what I'm thinking. Hold on.
Could be.
I've always
Aliens, not Alien, because the Queen versus the
looks like more like the Brood character. Yeah, the Queen does.
Yeah, the Brood was in the 80s.
Queen came 4 years after the Brood first appeared.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I still think that they pulled some
definitely
from Alien.
Same with that hooky. You know, Bernie's version. That thing was very
pulling the plug.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody captured that pulling the plug.
Pulling the plug.
Well, it's hard to follow Bernie Wrightson, but I think I can do that with this cat by the name of Jack Kirby.
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, I was thinking about Fing Fang Foom.
Fing Fang Foom. Look at that.
Now, wait a second. Is he green or is he orange? Because I've seen him green.
I've seen him both.
I've seen him both ways.
Okay.
Well, they I think he started off green in the first appearance, if I remember. No, I don't have it near mint. And then I think he became like reddish or something later, didn't he? Because I'm pretty sure he started off green, but then they changed. I don't know what his most recent color is. I ripped this off.
I don't know if this was recolored or not.
That's true. I ripped this character off in one of my Damage issues when they were at a place called Monster Island. Every universe has a Monster Island. But yeah, he started off green, but I don't know. I know he became a different color after that.
Okay, yeah, he's green on the cover of Strange Tales 89.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I
looks
think
like
what bugs me about this design is the human eyes. Like he should have like different eyes.
Like there's
the fact that he's wearing
upstairs.
underwear doesn't faze you at all.
I'm with Chris Thacker. The
like
underwear.
The underwear.
Yeah, Andy too. It's like, dude, It's like if you saw Godzilla wearing like jeans.
Kirby's like, I can't show his junk.
Right.
I'll put him in underwear.
Well, wait a minute. If Godzilla was wearing jeans, I wouldn't have to look at his thunder thighs.
Hey,
Hey,
that's
Don't get me started on
shaming,
Godzilla,
bro.
man.
Fat shaming.
Wow. So
Yeah.
let's just sum up things for people here. Aaron doesn't like Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, and he doesn't like Godzilla people.
No, I didn't know. I don't like Godzilla. I love Godzilla people.
there
No,
it is.
I was talking.
Oh yeah, see
people.
that's it.
Yeah.
It was a
This is
simpler
even this is
time.
a reprint. This is 1973, but
Can you go back to the orange image?
Who in the world made the underwear for these monsters? That should be a comic.
Yeah, can you go back to the orange image,
What
Grant?
do you mean, who made him?
That thing's got some Hulk vibes.
Somebody's got to make underwear for those monsters. They're not
Oh,
making it
I see what you're saying.
themselves.
Are these two different drawings, or are these the same drawing?
It's the same drawing.
It's the same drawing.
See,
Yeah.
okay, trippy.
yeah,
I
but
think
they
they
didn't
probably
color
tried-
the underwear here.
Yeah,
I like this color better, to be honest.
I was just
Yeah.
saying the same thing because the other one has too much, like it's got Hulk vibes with the greens and the
Yeah,
purple.
and the purple undies too.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you noticed, my monster is wearing underwear too.
nice.
Yep.
I've got underwear on my monster, if you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
And that's no accident, you know. I mean,
You got to hold back the beast.
well, yeah. I
Oh
mean,
my gosh.
it's nothing worse than monster junk.
Mm.
But I even in the very first Monster Island, where we first see one of these giant monsters, and he's got the underwear on. Mac goes, says something about the monster, and goes, "And what's with the underwear?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
because where do they go to get it?
Yeah.
Do they
No,
make
wait a
it
minute.
themselves?
And
Who
in
knows?
return, in return to Monster Island, one of the Russian pilots goes, "Is he wearing?" And he goes, "Yeah, he is."
What are those little guys called? The little alien-looking
The
dudes.
gooch.
The ones with
The
the
gooch.
mind
Who's
powers.
this? Are the gooch making their underwear for them?
Maybe they probably are.
Making
You
the
need a little
gooch. The gooch
sidebar.
makes
You need a little
stuff for the
sidebar,
gooch.
They're
You should
very
have, like-
conservative.
You have like a 3-page sequence in one of your stories where the gooch is like hauling out this haul of underwear secretly at night and putting it on the underwear stand and sneaking back out.
Oh,
So
that
lots
would be
of people
fun.
come and get their
Yeah.
underwear.
Go to the loom like he's
That could
made.
be a stretch goal story.
There you
Yeah.
go.
You know what else? You could manufacture some of those underoos with like
Yeah,
monster underoos.
genuine Monster Island underoos. When you
Yeah.
just have to keep the monster back.
That's
Yeah,
ooh, look
hold
at
the
that.
monster
Grabs
at bay
whole-
with Monster Island underoos. TM.
I had
Grandma.
underoos. I didn't get the ones I wanted, but I had them.
You were spoiled
Never had
rotten. You had underoos.
No. Well, I was a lot younger than you. You didn't have underoos in your time, man. They were
We had to
called
make
boing
our own
boing.
underoos.
They were called tidy whities.
Yeah, well, I thought he was a little fig leaf.
In Art's time, they were just called jeans. There was no underwear.
No,
in
I
my
had,
day, you just let it all hang out.
I had the Green
That's right.
Lantern. I had the Green Lantern, but I desperately wanted the Spidey, but could never find the Spidey. But Green
Yeah.
Lantern was available.
Extra padding for those dropped monster loads.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
It's
the
like-
gooch don't want to
it's
have
like
to go over the island with a giant pooper scooper and pick up this shit.
It's like when you see those monkeys, those chimpanzees with like shorts on.
somebody's got to do, island maintenance.
That's
that's right.
Just like
True.
Cronenberg.
Yeah, you could have one of them just walking and not paying attention, just walk into a
Yeah, step in it.
a 3-story Sapos right in the middle of the road. Oh,
That's a whole different kind of monster load.
All right,
or
Art, do you have
he falls off of something and then he's capped. Instead of dying, he hits like a big Sapos. and saves
You
his
know,
life.
you made me think of
But he
something.
wishes he was dead because of the smell.
You know, the whole the craziness happening with P. Diddy and all the stuff you see in the news. My kids, it's gotten so far that my kids joke about it, you know, and they were talking about how the Chipmunk movies, the newer ones, you know, the CG chipmunks, say things like, "I feel like I'm Diddy with fur and da 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 going to Diddy's boat," like that, like in the movies. And so Harrison goes, I don't know what he would do at a Diddy party. They would rip him open. And I said, I think they put him in scuba gear, son.
Oh,
Talking about gross movies.
Lemmy Winks. You guys ever see Lemmy Winks on South? Oh man, wrong crowd.
Yeah. Yeah, Dan's used to hanging out with his cool kids. They're cooler than we are.
They're cooler than I am. That they have more messed up imaginations than I do. I'll tell you that, which is brutal. Andy, you know, you've seen my kids.
Oh, I know. Hey, will I be seeing one of them in a couple weeks?
Yes, maybe even both, but definitely Lily Bell.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Graham,
Are you going to SC2?
we should update the campaign.
Yeah.
Show it off.
Yes, that would be a stellar idea, my friend. Let's see.
Yeah.
We're about to wrap things up here, I think. Let's see. 18130, 1870.
Yeah,
Almost
Nice.
It's there.
Woohoo!
$110 from 19,000. Let's hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll happen because Art, you still got a comic one to share, don't you?
Right. So with this one, we can get to that 19K.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're not going anywhere, people. We got
Yeah, we're
numbers
going to get that 19K before we say goodnight.
And if you really want us to leave, just hit it at 20.
Yeah.
We'll get out of here like that.
And then we'll say good night.
Good
Oh,
night, Irene.
man. Stippling, I don't know. She might. She wants one. My daughter wants her own booth. I know Andy knows. She takes over like 2/3 of my table. She just like plops her.
She's like, Dad, move your shit.
Yeah, move your shit. I'm
Hey,
like, it's.
I'm
my
surprised
name.
she hasn't asked you for a banner yet.
She has. She has. Hey, when are we gonna get one of those things for me, Dad? I'm like, oh my god.
Do you have
You know what
something
you got to
here?
get her? You get her one of those little tabletop ones. It's like 1.5 feet high.
Yeah.
And then you can be like, little person, little banner. Here
Right.
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, do some chores. Earn that banner. But yeah, I got this one. It's not exactly a comic book created character, but I just wanted to show off this artist.
Oh.
This is
Art Adams.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still a comic book though. There's several.
Oh, yeah, that's
several
comic
Godzilla
art. Look at
comics
that.
in the 70s now.
Think how cool that would be if his thighs weren't so big.
Oh my god. What
Oh
are
my
you
God, you're a
thigh
Godzilla
shaming
hater?
for?
Yeah, what
Dude,
are you,
have it-
anti-thigh?
Yeah.
Godzilla gets in the
Jesus.
squat rack, man. You walk
Right.
What are you,
Jeez.
fat shaming Godzilla?
How else
Hey.
are you gonna move that tail around?
If
That's
Arthur
right.
Adams gave that to me, I would hang it on my wall proudly. So,
Yes, you would.
You would Photoshop rework those thighs though.
probably. No.
This one makes me sad because I think Godzilla's just been conked out.
Good.
I think
It looks like he's napping.
it looks like he was at a Diddy party.
Yeah.
Oh,
He looks like Bill Cosby just brought him home.
That's right.
he was leaving a Diddy party when the drugs kicked in.
Yeah, the cops go, "You okay?"
He's like, oh shit, crush.
Yeah, he just got diddied. Look at all this detail though.
I just ate some Jell-O pudding.
Mm.
Oh,
You know, Arthur you want to talk about Godzilla fans, man. He's like at the top of the list.
Top.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all his
Just
monsters.
drawing that
are great.
texturing would be a nightmare.
Yeah,
Oh, I know.
yeah. I've inked this guy. It's not pleasant.
This is
Yeah,
the kind
you
of
haven't
stuff
inked
I like
Godzilla
to do.
though. If I got those pencils, I'd be like, nope, Send them
Oh,
back.
dude,
not worth
I'd
it.
add to it.
You imagine they gave that to Vinnie Coletta?
Oh God.
There'd be half the lines.
Now that's cool.
Yeah, dude, and look at the blur, like the
Yeah, what is
yeah.
he reaching for there? What is that?
like exploding something.
It's a spaceship.
Oh, okay.
And it's exploding in his hands.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
But this
he did these 11x17 or bigger.
Yeah, he's got the scale down with the big monster and the buildings and
the physics too. Like, just look at the way things crumble and
look at the cars.
Yeah.
They're all moving. They're all not static.
That Art Adams guy, he can draw a little bit.
He's not bad. Yeah, and then all this smoke.
Yep.
That's cross-hatching in the smoke.
That looks like it came from Ronin, like a background out of Ronin, you know?
It does. Yeah. I like this because it's a little looser than he usually works too, which is strange.
I still wouldn't call it loose though.
I know. I don't. Yeah.
I wonder how long it takes him to look at that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is. I had to do this. I couldn't find a high res. This is as big as I should make it. But yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crosshatch in black back up there. It's like, us. We're getting out our our brushes and filling in the black. Not Arthur. He's going to crosshatch that till it turns black.
Yeah, there's no solid blacks in this at all. Yeah, this is all cross hatching.
It's a shame when it gets colored, you know?
Yeah, I don't like color.
That style of art is meant for black and white, not to be colored.
We were
some good colors though.
Yeah. We were talking about Creature from the Black Lagoon earlier, and I know Art also did a version of that, and he did it on oversized. Hold on,
Yeah, I almost did some of the Creature stuff, but I knew one of you guys were going to pick the film version.
The only criticism I have of that adaptation that he did was not enough big shots of the creature in that for me.
Well, what I understand, he was trying to do like it was pretty literal, right? Like it was shot for shot, pretty accurate.
I don't know if it was or not.
Oversized,
the Dark Horse one?
Yeah, super oversized. Terry Austin inks.
Yeah, I've got that.
But I thought it was dull. And I'm a huge Art Adams fan, and I found that book to be dull.
Well, that's
I thought the same. Yeah, I think if Art inked it himself, it might have looked different or better.
Well, I wonder if he was given a certain edict for page layouts and storytelling, or exactly what the idea was there. Because I would have loved, like I said, to see some more variants and some bigger shots of the creature.
Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna get him because I think it was like a translation of the movie, like frame by frame.
But yeah, you guys asked about this, so I scanned this in real quick. So
that really makes me want to have waffles.
It's not quite Art Adams.
Ooh, yeah, Art! Look at that.
Are you inking this on a light box or something?
No, I'm actually, I got the pencils underneath, so I'm light boxing, drawing as I'm inking.
Oh, okay.
So there's parts of it that are penciled, and then there's parts of it that are inked.
Yeah. Wow.
What do you use a pen, Art? Primarily?
These are microns.
Microns.
Yeah, I can't hold my hands. I got like trigger finger, like arthritis in my hand. So I can't really hold a nib or a brush like I used to. So I can hold a drawing tool like, a pencil, obviously, or the microns. So, but the inker in me comes out. So there's still variation in the line weights. And so it looks pretty
just
much
go over things and adjust the line weight with the micron.
Yeah, I kind of got certain microns that are kind of beat up a little bit, so they'll give me a thin to thick, so I can kind of push down and pull out, and then I can kind of clean it up a little bit if I have to. So it does give me some spontaneity, but not a whole heck of a lot. But I'm able to fake it with those things.
Look at all those skulls and skeletons.
Do you know who you're having color this yet, or no?
I'm gonna have Kyle Ritter color it.
Oof.
Yeah.
Poor Kyle.
I love that shield. Look at the cross hatching on that shield.
I know.
It's wonderful.
That is gorgeous.
great.
It's so textured. And the other thing I really like is the clouds behind the guy's head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to simplify some of it. So the color will help with the storytelling too, because I'm thinking, this guy, his name's Lord Faken. He'll be able to be pushed back like line weight,
Sure.
like how they do the color hole kind of thing.
Changes
And
opacity.
and then
yes, scroll down a little.
and then
What
these
the diffusion, that sort of fog at their feet, so good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I wanted to push them back from the foreground, so also we can, like knock the line art down a little bit. And then I'm thinking also the backgrounds where the zombies in the head could be slightly monochromatic, and then the foreground stuff will be, full color. So we can kind of storytell with the image, so it won't be as busy. But I'm thinking maybe for the campaign offering this as a black and white line art variant. Because
that's a good idea.
Definitely.
If you do that, you should do it without the logo and stuff. Do a total just virgin cover.
Naked.
Yeah, just do a naked version. Yeah. So yeah, you guys, if you haven't signed up for Black and White Volume 3, actually, Sins of the Father, this is going to be one of the variants. I got a Carlo Barberi variant, and I got another superstar that I'll announce after the 30 days. So you guys, I don't know if it's in the description, but if one of the mods could throw some of the sign up, links in there.
Yeah, if you guys wouldn't mind.
Yeah, because we're gonna launch later this month. Sins of the Father, so it'll probably be the end of the month.
It's a tremendous piece, Art. Tremendous.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
We got to give Monster Island some room to breathe.
There's plenty to go around for good quality comics. That's for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
I've got one more here. I just wanted to share really quick. Where is it? There he is. And this guy, I have I've used him for other examples that we've done. Hold on, where is he? I get rid of him. There he is. Okay. Share this tab. Boogra Conan.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Go,
Who is this?
This is John Buscema, inked by Alfredo Alcala from Savage Sword of Conan #2.
Alcala said, okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Look at that shit. Oh my
God.
God.
Melting face. Yeah.
When I saw that as a kid, I just shit my pants. I was like, whoa, that is so cool.
Yeah, that's great.
Now, when I look at it, I look at these wrinkles on the upper panel here in this like dress thing the guy's wearing.
Yeah.
Look at those great wrinkles.
Yeah.
Well, I like the fingers in the last panel too. Those fingers are freaking awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, this is
T-Bear, I don't know if you're seeing the chat, but Art of Roy is pushing the Zig Kuretake pens.
These are them.
Zig?
I've used the calligraphy Zigs, which I like, but they wouldn't do what Art's doing.
Hey Dan, how do you spell Zig? Is it like
Z-I-G? You know what? I'll send you links because these are Art of Roy is correct. The best one that they have, they actually don't sell anymore, and I've been trying to find them. In fact, I emailed a pen company in Taiwan that has them, but I couldn't. Even I was using Translate. There's no way to ship to the United States, so I was like, "Come on!" And it was the Kuretake extra fine.
They don't sell that anymore.
The extra fine they don't. You can find the fine all over the place. The extra fine, which is a slightly different blue, you could see
Yeah.
one's a darker blue. The extra fine's not available anymore. So I thought, hey, maybe it's these Zig pens. They're not, but the Zig pens aren't bad. The lighter color one is a Kuretake. It's a little lighter.
So you can get those at just art supply stores? Or
no, I'll send you links.
No.
I buy everything through Jet Pens.
I was
yeah,
gonna say
Jet
Jet
Pens,
Pens, yeah.
I've been buying from Jet Pens for 15 years. If you want to get the good shit, they have it.
Yeah, they do.
If I had something in my hand that worked like a nib or a brush, but I could hold it like a pencil,
this is
it will save me a ton of time.
I should send you one of these, Art, or at least send you a link.
I would appreciate that.
Hey, Dan,
Combo makes a really good one too.
Take the lid off of it so we can see what the nib looks like.
Okay, actually, you know what I'm going to do, since I have this really handy dandy over the paper camera, I'm going to just switch this out, and you're going to see my notes from today's show. So I apologize. Let me stop my cam, switch my cam out to Logitech Stream. Okay, switch. Hopefully,
we're losing Aaron.
Let me get the setting better. Is that it? No, that's the Pro Stream. My bad. Here we go. Zoom. There we are.
Zoom.
And then so this is let me see if I can zoom any further.
Is it soft? Does it flex?
Here, let me show you something like this. Let's see. This was some stuff I was playing around with these pens just to see how they go. But look, let's take this guy here, right?
Okay.
I can hit it with a thin line up top, but watch how thick that line comes in, and then I can come in really thin like this, but then drop in a big fat chunky shape. You see?
Is that black real good? I mean, is it black?
Really,
black?
yeah, it's super black. Let me
cool.
That's if I remember right, I think that's what Neil was using towards the end. Neil Adams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hold on, let me put
I believe so. Yeah.
I think that'll
hey,
do it.
Could you drop that in our green room?
Yeah. Let me adjust the focus on this because I'm going to show you all the pens. Then this is for the crowd because I don't want to be selfish with the pens. So we've got this one, which is made by Tombow. This is my second favorite. Is this Tombow?
Well, show me the tip. Show me the tip.
Just the tip.
That's
Just
not the first time Art said that to a man.
Here, I'll put this eraser here.
You need to stop, Andrew.
They each have.
Right it was on that rooftop
They each
before he
have
blew
this sort
the
of
fatty.
similar tip, right? Like so, this one that I really like, the one that they don't sell anymore. You can still see how watch.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
You see, and you can go thin, or you can get real thick. So this one they don't sell anymore. That's a Kuretake. I'll leave the.
Hey, I got to ask, how long do these things last? They don't seem like they're going to last very long.
They do. The Tombow lasts. You could probably get a page or two out of them, but you know they're like $3-4. You know.
Wait, here a page or two. That's it.
Well, if you just use one tool, yeah.
Yeah, you're going to wear that because those tips don't last.
Yeah. So then this is the bolder version of the Kuretake here, which is the bolder version of this that they don't sell out anymore. And then Art of Roy.
I like that light blue one. I thought that. Yeah.
Art of Roy was telling you about this one. This is the fine, and then the extra fine on the Kuretake, and these just came in the mail today. I was trying to find replacements for the Tombows, but these do the same thing. You just kind of have to have a different hand with them.
Yeah.
You know, like as far as how much pressure. Like you might be a little less heavy-handed than I am, you know, or more. Who knows? But
I don't know anymore. That's why I like the microns because I can kind of bear down.
Yeah, these. I mean, look at this. Here's this how thin of a line you can get. like this is just kind of a random thin, right?
Yeah.
But then you see,
Yeah, that's like real inking again.
yeah, it has a real range to it, thick and thin. So yeah, I'll send them to you guys. I'll send you links.
And since Blue Boy's got a big mouth, he's just been banned.
What did Blue Boy say?
Yeah, he was well, I'll tell you guys off the camera.
Yeah.
That's not very nice.
I'm tired of his big mouth showing up in these shows.
Yep.
He's a douche.
Bummer.
Yep.
That's a great looking wall there, Dan.
No, thanks. Yeah, that's my my art easel that I never use. Here, let's there you go.
I'm gonna get vertigo.
There we go.
It's the ceiling. It was the ceiling.
There you go. Where's my bald head? There's
Whoa!
my bald head.
What the hell is that?
Sexy. But it's all zoomed in too, so let's pull that zoom back. There we are. Hey. Yeah, I'll switch.
Dan's selling sexy.
I'm selling the sex.
Sexy.
Selling it.
Speaking of selling, where are we at on Monster Island?
Yeah, let's give it a one last look here before we finish out here. Wait, I should put it up here first, and then share this tab instead. There we go. All right. 18.
Yeah!
Oh, we're almost 19.
One backer to 19. Come on, guys.
Okay, we're gonna hold out for one more backer. We're holding out for one more backer.
You know what? I'm gonna go in and order that
distress cover.
I'm not even gonna say it out loud.
Yeah, best you don't.
I'm not gonna say it.
One backer, 19K. Look at that. Play the video again. Yeah, the video.
I like the. I always look at the backer numbers, because and compare that to my previous campaigns. Because the whole idea is to expand. Is you want to have as many people as you can. Reading your books. Sharing the love, all that kind of stuff. So, all right, let's play that video.
I like the sound effects in the video. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, the video was done by Good Stuff, and I put his link into our green room. So for you guys that are looking for videos, he's really good.
Yeah, I still got to put mine together for Black and White, Volume 3, Sins of the Father, later this month.
Yes,
sign up today.
You need to pick a day.
I do. I have a day, but yeah. I'll commit to it later.
Are you not doing it on a Tuesday?
Yeah, do it on a Tuesday.
You do it on a Tuesday, Art.
Is Tuesday is the 29th? Is that right?
Yes.
So.
And it's your show that day.
Is it really? That could work out.
Yeah, because mine's next week.
But what about Aaron?
Aaron did last week.
In a row.
Aaron did 3 in a row.
He did.
What?
That's why he's worn out.
You did 3 shows in a row.
2.
He wasn't 3 in a row.
Wasn't it 3?
I did one
because he stepped in for me last week.
Oh no, I did 3 shows. I hosted 3 shows in 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. Okay.
And it was
so anyhow. So I'm next week. So then the 29th
2
is you, Art. So.
All right, that works out. The math works out.
All right, here's the trailer.
Crispy Fire.
Yeah.
I'm not a mod. I'm not a mod on your channel, am I, Graham?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I tried to post the pen link for the chat, but I couldn't.
Okay.
So
There we go, guys. We hit it.
Oh shit!
Oh.
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say it was me. I'm just saying.
But it was me.
You can guess. You can guess what cover I
you.
ordered.
It's always you, Aaron. Always. Good
always
or
me.
bad, it's always Aaron.
It's always about me.
How you feeling, Aaron?
I'm telling you, when I get that distressed cover, Graham, I'm going to bend it back, and I'm going.
He's going to make it really distressed.
That cover, Aaron, is a green light for you to abuse it.
Yeah,
I know.
Because it already looks distressed.
Can I do it though? I don't know.
He's gonna be like a dog getting a toy, dude. He's
no. It's like, am I now going to try to keep a distressed cover in near mint condition? I mean,
no. What am I?
Well, you never know, because if something happens to it, you'll just be like, "No, it's just distressed on purpose."
Look at
Just
that.
do him
Aaron.
a favor, Graham, and send him two copies.
It's calling you. Look at that.
I know.
Look at that. I'm gonna.
You know what's going to happen? I'm going to forget that I backed this, and it's going to show up, and I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to have like an aneurysm all over again.
Is this hurting?
He's going to make an unboxing video and rage at you, saying, "I can't believe he shipped me a book in this condition."
Exactly.
And then go, "Oh crap! It was printed that way."
Look at all those wrinkles.
Look at Graham trying to hurt Aaron right now.
Yeah. I know, dude. You just said Aaron has lots of wrinkles.
You guys. No, you guys.
That's a well-loved comic, Aaron. That's a comic that's been read.
Hey, wait! I see thumbprints. No, is that zip or thumbprints? No, it's like a zip. That's cool.
You guys make fun of me for but dude,
no, we're not.
that spinner rack back there is full of beat up comics. It is,
and it kills him to walk by it every day.
I can't even look at him. I can't even
look at him. He has a blanket over it.
I'll tell you right now, Aaron, every comic in this studio is beat up. Hack Shack has no pristine books.
I know.
What do you think Art does to take out his frustration?
In your hands.
Art punches comics in his spare time.
I have a drum set for that, Aaron. I mean, Andy.
Yeah, he kills snakes and plays beats.
Play funky beats.
The thing is that when you have these thick books with the cardstock covers, it's hard to beat them up. The way you could the old, cheapo stapled ones,
Yeah, those
sounds like a challenge.
The floppies. Oh, you can beat it, but you can pull this
challenge accepted.
Well, what do you think, guys? Should I beat this? Like, should I subject Aaron to the beating of this book? Tear the cover off of it?
No, do it. Don't do it.
No, save that for your Hulk 1.
It would almost be worth making a fake comic at like Kinko's. That Kinko's doesn't exist, but you know what I'm saying?
No, they still do.
Print out like a very, very realistic from a 5 feet away kind of version of it.
Hey, which issue of Avengers does Cap make? Is it 3 or 5?
4.
I can never...
4.
You're like, 4. Is it 3 or 5? The one in between.
The one in between. Okay, I'll do a show, and I'll just break all of your heart because if you touch that cover, it will crumble like ash.
Oh no!
Oh wow! I got a Daredevil #1 that's beat up pretty good. Maybe I should have a cigar while I read it. And
well, I mean, if it's already beat up, you get to a point where those books aren't worth much when they're that beat up. But
it's not worth much, dude. A fucking 0.5, a 0.5 in an Amazing Fantasy is still, 20 grand.
Well, okay, that's Amazing Fantasy.
Yeah,
not
Judah. Coverless. I was at a show over the weekend. A coverless Hulk 181. Goes for what was he selling it for? 1,500.
That's ridiculous. No one would pay that. That's
stupidity.
Absurd.
Somebody will pay it. It's slabbed. It has it literally says NG, so no grade.
You can get a low grade. You can get a low grade with a cover on it for cheaper than that. That's absurd.
It means not good.
Yeah.
You know the horrible thing when I was a kid, there was a guy at the swap meet, and also there was a store vendor who sold these to me, is when they would rip the cover or like a third of the cover off.
Oh, yeah. The returnables.
My comic books have the cover slightly ripped or the whole cover ripped off.
Yeah, they'd rip off either half the cover or the whole cover for returns. And then they would return that. So, and, you know.
Yeah. There's a guy at the swap meet, man. He had stacks of them. And it was just like, because this was before, you know, like comic book shops too. So if you saw somebody, you know, with, I don't know, like 100 comics out there, you went crazy. And it didn't matter. You know, I just wanted
kids. Well, I remember buying, I mean, this is before I was a comic collector. I bought like a bunch of comics at like at a garage sale, and the condition didn't matter. It was just like, oh, cool, Conan, oh, cool, you know.
Read the hell out of them.
All right, I was told to refresh. Let's do it together.
Okay.
Refresh.
Together.
190.
Woo! We got a couple 95.
Yeah, climbing that. We're on our way up to the east side.
Are you 810? Is that right? From 20K?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is a pretty good showing, Mr. Nolan. It's not bad. Yeah.
There's a lot of Monster Island fans out there.
That's right.
I'm glad that they really enjoyed the first two books and wanted to come back for the third one. This one's going to be a different one too, because this one takes place underground. I wanted to draw all those like Kirby rock things and lava flows and rock monsters and Coliseum battles and stuff like that. So it's sort of a wider scope and focuses more on the characters than on the monsters and stuff. So it's going to be a little bit different in that way, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, also you said it's the end of the trilogy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it has a finite ending?
Well, it's the end of this story that takes place with Mac and Duke.
Okay.
I mean, Monster Island can go on because it goes all around the universe picking up monsters. So we can follow the island all over the universe and introduce new characters and new places and all that other stuff. But this is the Mac and Duke arc that ends with the story. Yeah.
I'm waiting for the mac and cheese arc.
I'm waiting for brisket.
Now I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Brisket.
You know what I'll do to fool myself sometimes with mac and cheese is like if there's some cold chicken in the refrigerator, I'll just throw that in the mac and cheese.
What?
And then I fool myself like this is healthy.
Well, the chicken is.
I got a brewery right up the road here. I can walk to it, and they serve. There's a smoker that is part of it. So they serve food, and they serve this homemade Gouda mac and cheese, right? And the mac and cheese is loaded with brisket. Brisket over the mac and cheese, and then over that is bacon bits, like chopped up bacon and jalapenos, like chopped up fresh jalapenos on top of that.
You know what, Graham? I'll be right over. That's
my God, dude!
Stop by making to pick me up part. Swing it up.
I mean, it sits in your belly like a log. Oh my God, it's so good.
There's nothing wrong with log food.
And then you wash it down with one of their beers, a fresh beer.
There you go.
Yeah, there's some good stuff. Nice. What's this? Marvel feature number 2. Cover pencils by Buscema and Romita. Alterations, inks by Giacoya and Romita. What's Marvel feature number 2, Aaron?
Are you sure that's John Buscema?
It's Defenders.
It's Defenders, but it's like I think they've got there's like this sort of demonic super villain, and they're offering a sacrifice of this Submariner, or someone's coming into. It's not one of my favorite covers because again, it's sort of lacking in a big focus central image that I kind of gravitate to. It's more of a scene, but I don't know that there's anything in particular about it that stands out that would make me go, ooh.
So it's John Buscema, not Sal.
Well, I always thought it was Sal. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong because it's not one of my favorite covers, so I've never really sort of looked at it too closely. But I think JDC has just given us a rundown of what's going on Marvel Feature. Number one, of course, is Neil Adams' cover. Great cover by Neil.
Oh, I see it now. It's Sal Buscema, not John.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, Sal was really good at this period here in this really early 70s.
Yeah.
You know, his figure work and stuff was tighter. He less focused on his stock shots, stock footage, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I
that's got
I liked a
Dormammu
lot
on
of
it,
his work
doesn't
back
it?
then.
That's Dormammu on there.
Dormammu. I like him.
Dormammu.
Is it Dormammu or Dormammu or Dor?
I call him Dormammu. Dormammu.
Is that like Mr. Mitzel-Pitlick? No one really knows how to pronounce it.
Mr. Nick Yetz-Pitlick.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
I piddled all over the floor when I heard that.
But he was originally called Mixelplick. They spelled it differently as Mixelplick, and then it became.
That's what I remember as Mixelplick.
Yeah, and the idea from that came
from a
comic strip. Yeah, it was it Little Abner? Joe Blipstick?
What?
Joe Blipstick from Little Abner.
Yeah, I think that's where they got the name from.
Not surprising.
Well, guys, we've been on for 2.5 hours here on this section here, and I know Aaron's a little under the weather. So I
probably hungry too, you know.
And probably hungry too, yeah.
Look, I'm turning into Karloff. I'm gaunt. I'm sickly and starving.
Oh.
No, I think you're turning into Zimu or your furry white guy.
I don't have enough fur to pull that off. Wouldn't a Zemnu costume for Halloween?
Zemnu. Thank you. You're the only one in comics that can pronounce the name, you know.
He's the only one in comics that likes the character.
Yeah, he's the only one that character name.
He's the only one in comics that remembers the character.
I know.
We should all
appeared like 5 times.
When's your birthday, Aaron?
Huh?
When's your birthday?
January 7th.
January 7th. We got till January 7th to all do a Zemnu sketch.
Well, you saw what he looks like. It's not that difficult.
Yeah,
it'll take us 10 minutes.
I didn't say they were going to be great sketches. I just said we got to January to do a sketch of Zemnu.
Andy's birthday is coming up.
I'll start my own Zemnu collection.
That's election day, baby.
Yeah, it is. Come on, everybody. I want everybody out there to give Andy the biggest present you can give him. Let's elect his president.
That's right. Big T.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, everybody in the chat, thank you so much for spending your evening with us. My bros, in literally and figuratively. Thank you guys for helping launch the book, and really appreciate everybody and all their support of my project and everybody's project that's here tonight. You guys want to go around the horn and talk a little bit of, just before we sign off, you know, what you got going?
Sure.
Yeah, Cordrat the Awakening, obviously still alive. If you saw me earlier with Graham when he launched, I was inking page 40, which will be done tomorrow. So moving along nicely on it. So go back, Cordrat the Awakening, 64 pages of ball-busting barbarian action. Cordrat and Adriana are back. Check it out.
Ball-busting, bitch-slapping action.
No bitch slapping.
Rat tapping.
This is not a book about Kamala's husband.
Oh, dang.
Okay.
Hey, Graham, does that mean that you just went up again? I saw you. You put that guy.
I must have.
He said you're 600 away.
Yeah.
Oh, refresh.
Oh, cool.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, 685 away.
What's with that drop
Randy's
down?
on top of it.
Crazy.
I hate that drop down. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Less than that, 650.
$650.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what he said. $650.
Yeah, excellent.
Sweet.
Outstanding.
Outstanding.
You know what?
Nice.
I think I'm going to hang out here till I hit 20, and then I can go to bed.
You can rest.
You guys, you guys got to go do what you got to do.
Hey Graham, I'm here with you. Let's hit that 2K or
hang out.
2K, yeah.
All right, bros.
Oh, what's that?
Double pager.
Yeah.
We're not leaving till we hit 20, guys.
Working on this double pager.
I am. Please forgive me.
Oh no, yeah. Aaron,
Good.
you go. Get some rest, and
I'm gonna
get some
stay
food,
till 10.
and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. But if you can't make it, we understand.
Yeah,
No,
I
feel
think,
better.
I think I'll be all right, but we'll see. I'll let you know in the morning. I'll let you know early enough. You'll know if I'm coming or not. So.
Okay.
It's
Hey,
cool,
Aaron,
man.
Go build back better yourself.
I
Yeah.
will.
Hey, and you know what? It's a brave thing to get a penal reduction. I mean,
It'll
the rest
all
of the
work
world.
out, Aaron. It'll all work out.
Between you and Andy, I'm going to have nothing left. All right.
His testicles receded. And Aaron, by the way, I pimped your Wraith of God on my book look this morning because it was one of your older sketchbooks I used.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
You picked the what?
His 2000
The video, the book look that I do every Tuesday.
Yeah.
I used one of your older sketchbooks as the topic. So I
the
pimped Wraith
20-year
of God
one?
and
The 20-year one?
Huh?
The 20-year one?
24 year.
no. This sketchbook is from like 20 years ago. It's when Boom put it out.
Oh, the Boom one. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
well, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, click that link. Go back, Wraith of God.
There it is.
That's right.
Right. All right. I'm going to go have some mac and cheese with brisket.
Oh,
nice.
I'm not.
Bastard.
No, I'm not.
I hate you.
Might
We'll
have
have some ice cream.
I might end up with top ramen or something.
Oh,
All right, guys.
All right,
Thanks,
buddy.
Graham.
Thanks.
Good night.
Graham,
Feel better.
see you guys. Thank
Feel
you.
better.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. What a downer he was all show. Thank God. he's gone.
now
One
we
of the
can
nicest
swear.
guys in comics.
Now we can swear.
Fuck, shit, damn, crap, dick, ass.
Now show
Way
us
to
some
go,
of
man.
those titty drawings, Dan.
Oh, yeah. Good times. Good times.
Wow.
Show us your dormammus.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's hilarious.
Good topic. Do we have any runners up for great monster design, like film monster designs?
Film or
Monster design?
Just
Yeah.
in film, yeah.
There's some. Yeah, I can find some.
I like
I was just-
McFarlane's
I just-
Violator.
You know, I want to throw one out. Is Freddy Krueger a good design, like a monster design?
Yeah.
He's iconic.
Yeah, I think Freddy Krueger's good.
Yeah, dude. If I see someone just wearing that sweater,
Right.
Yeah.
I go, that's a Freddy Krueger sweater. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that I used to have a plastic replica of the glove. I always wanted like a real one, and make that whatever that sound is, scraping on a, I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy. Yeah, that shit fucking, man. Yeah. Nightmare, though, you know what? When Aaron was talking about not liking torture, there was they had done
As if we like it.
I know. How, thank God
only
that Stick in the
Aaron-
Mud's out of here. Now we
Aaron
can
brings
talk
down the
torture.
show by saying he doesn't like torture.
So
I
now
like
that we can
bamboo
talk
shoots up
about-
the fingernails.
Ah, fuck. No, there was a version of the newer version of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre that like there were just parts of it that were they were gross. You know what I mean? Like it's just it wasn't scary. It was just kind of like the guy like peeled off a guy's face and wore it like a mask, and the girl at first thought it was her boyfriend, and it's like, it's so gross.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
we can
well, that
also
sounds like child's play to what Andy wants to go see.
what the
Terrifier.
Terrifier is really. I don't need that in my life.
Yeah, I don't need that.
Oh,
I
dude,
don't
the
need it.
Terrifier is not for the weak of heart. The
I'm
dude
not
even said, so I'm not going to describe the scene, but in Terrifier 2, when the actor that plays the clown comes into the set to film this one scene, it was so gross. He almost threw up, and he asked the director, he goes, can't you have my stunt double do this? And he's like, no, because we see your face in the scene.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't need that in my life. I mean, that's good for them. Good for them. Whatever, you know.
Graham, I'm going to share something.
Spaceman went and saw it.
Well, I just like the special. Honestly, I've gotten to a point. I hated that stuff as a kid, but now I like looking at it from the practical special effects standpoint.
See, I usually go smoke a fat bowl, and illusion goes away. Or illusion doesn't go away. It creeps up. I can't think about special effects. I think about the context of the terror that girl saw of seeing her boyfriend's skin on another man's face. Well, that's good
storytelling if it can draw you out of that. Hey, Graham, can you share
or good weed?
Sorry, Art, share what?
Share. I put it up in here. Just click on it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's my Freddy Krueger Step Into Your Dream.
There you go.
Very nice.
So I did this. Remember, like Mike Miller used to have a drawing stream, kind of like Graybeards.
Yeah, quarter, drawn and quartered.
So I did this, and I think I kicked John Malin's ass, and John Malin made fun of it because see this hand right here, the one that's holding the knife.
Yeah.
He said he never used a knife in the movies. So
John will find any reason to disparage anything to prop John up.
I just thought it was hilarious because I'm like, I don't have time to really research this. I got like an hour. What was it? An hour and a half or 2 hours to draw.
That's a lot of time. That's a lot of time.
Yeah, on the show. Yeah.
So holy smokes.
I don't do those things anymore. It's just that stuff's high stress. I don't know how Aaron.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I did the first Flagtober on Jason Krager's channel, and we had like a drawing thing, and 3 of us got to draw, and it was a lot of fun. You know, I don't know. But again, you know, Graham and I talked about this earlier. I love to draw. I just love it. You know,
Aaron's like that too. I mean, I remember when we had gone to Germany together, and then he and Shelley were going on to Paris. And then he sends pictures back, and there he is in the Louvre, sitting on a chair, drawing a statue. It's like, dude, you're in Paris. You should be out drinking wine and drinking and eating bread and looking at shit. I mean, there's no way I could sit in a freaking museum and start drawing stuff.
But
he loves it. I mean,
I lived there for 4 months, and I bought a pass called the Amis du Louvre, which is the Friends of the Louvre. It's essentially like a Disneyland annual pass, and they were open 6 days a week, and I would go on lunch breaks and things like that and just sit and draw the statues. I would do, and Aaron will probably like this. There was a museum across the street called Orsay. On my last month there, I photographed every statue that I could from different angles. And I have a whole file of those. So I'm gonna. That's an easy.
I think there are different types of artists. There's guys that doodle all the time, and then there are guys that kind of like they do things because they have to pay the rent.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah. That's me. I'm not do it because I have to pay the rent.
Yeah.
Stippling, have you created the thumbnail stream link for the next landing party with Mark Miller? No, I have not. I'll be doing that tomorrow, and it'll go out tomorrow. So we got Mark Miller coming on
the landing party.
Yeah, Mark is going to come on the landing party. He's a big Star Trek fan, and his favorite episode is City on the Edge of Forever.
Are you thinking of Mark Millar?
It's pronounced Miller.
It's Miller. Yeah.
But the guy who did Authority and
the British.
Yeah, and Kick-Ass.
What a get!
Yeah,
he's
a good guy.
Yeah, dude. I know he done Youngblood with Rob back in the day.
Well, he never backed a crowdfunding project till today. He backed Monster Island.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I thought you were pointing to me. I was getting excited.
I'll have to see that. Yeah, Mark. I didn't know it was pronounced Miller. I always thought it was Millar.
I don't hear it.
Millard, because it's got an A in it. It's not.
Yeah.
I
I asked him flat out, how is it pronounced? And I phonetically spelled it. Is it Miller or Millar? He says, I say Miller, but my friends in America say the more sophisticated Millar.
Yeah.
Oh, the Millar.
That's true. I mean, everyone in America would say Millar because of the A. But it's
well, and then there's Art Thibert. So
right. Wait, it's Thibert? I thought it
it's
was
Tibbert.
Oh, it's Tibbert.
Oh, Tibbert.
H is silent.
Yeah.
Is that French?
We.
Yeah.
Oui.
Look at your dog back there.
I didn't know you were a snail eater.
Her little tail is just going.
Yeah, it's going dum dum dum. He's talking about my daddy.
Yeah, he hangs out with me in the evening times.
Oh, what a sweetheart.
Oh,
that's great.
Yeah.
For the first time in forever, I love my dog. You know what I mean? Like we had a dog for a long time that 12 years. I hated that dog. Here's the difference. Like, have you ever had a dog that like does something bad and you go, hey, no, and they turn around and they growl at you, like, how dare you yell at me? Like that kind of thing. And you're like, dude, chill the fuck out. And she would do just stuff like that all the time. She'd get stuff stuck on her face. You go to reach her, help her out, she'd try to bite you, that kind of thing, and we had that dog for 12 years. And then we got that Tennessee Wolf dog back in April, right before my surgery. And man, I love that dog. She's a family member, man. We roll around and hug each other and, play. I forgot what that was like.
This dog was like the dog you explained. Like, we got him when he was a puppy. He was like the size of a rat, and if we picked him up, he just start biting us and growling. Like, take him out to go to the bathroom. Like, this dude was out of control. We called him Poochifer. Yeah,
great name,
dog, right? And so we had read because he's a working dog. So both breeds. So the dude's, he's got to be occupied all the time. And so I wanted like a little puppy you could, like you said, wrestle around with and kind of roughhouse with. Yeah. But you get this dude going, once he's fired up.
That's how Lucy is too. If you get her,
you can't stop.
She's shepherd and husky, and if you wind it up just enough, she throws herself at the couch, and she's like a cannonball. She can literally move the couch by jumping on it,
Yeah, but then I heard, like, once they trust you, as you have them and they trust you, then things change. And also, I told myself I'm not going to live with a dog like this. So even though he would growl, I would just kind of hug him, and he'd be like, "Arr, arr." And I'd go, I love you so much.
Oh wow!
And I just hug him. He's like, arr, arr, arr. Like, he just want to kill me.
Pepper would have bit my face.
Oh, he
Art's like the dog's tearing his nose off. He's like, I love you so much.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what it was. And then there was one night when my wife and we woke up in the middle of the night and we're just like, let's just put the dog in the car and just set him free.
Oh no!
What?
And then he came back.
He does that?
No, he was that bad. He was. Yeah. Oh my god! I mean, when we call him Poochifer, I'm not kidding. And then there was one moment, because we read all the things. It's like, keep them engaged, keep their brains going, stuff like that. So we got a bunch of toys, and so I couldn't play with him a lot because, like, he would just get crazy. But he knew they were there, and so then one time he was being a dick, and he's just arr, arr, arr. And so then I said, calm, gentle, and so he disengaged. He went over and got his pool toy. He brought it over, handed it to me, and we did tug of war. And after that, he listened. There was a switch that flipped in this dog's head, and the only thing I can think of is, like, I used to just hold that dog until I loved him.
See, I thought when you said calm, he went and got a pipe and a smoking jacket and said,
no, it still works. Like, we say, calm and gentle, and he'll be calm and gentle. He fetches, He'll put his toys away. He'll clean the house like at the end of the evening. He'll put your toys away. He'll grab them, and he's got a little pin. He wipes his paws before he comes in the house. Like,
get out of here!
He gives you little back rubs.
Right,
this is my paper. Brings my slippers.
If you could teach him to climb on the toilet, he'd be a perfect dog.
Yeah. Oh, well, my wife spoiled him, so he won't poop in the evening or pee unless she's out there. Like,
oh wow,
he'll just kind of.
Well, that's good for you, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I still bring him out, just to give her a break, and then he'll just hang out with. He won't even go.
What are his breeds, Art? What are the two breeds?
It's he's a Shepherd and Border Collie.
Oh, so a German Shepherd?
Yeah.
And a Border Collie. Wow, that's an interesting combo.
Yeah. He's a beautiful dog. He's very handsome, but man, that he's a lot better. We've had him almost 4 years now, so he is a completely different dog. But man, when he was a puppy, he was a little jerk. Also, like I think we've got him when they said he was 6. No, they said he was 2 months or something like that, and he was fully weaned. He was not, man.
No, I hate when they do that.
Like 5 weeks, maybe 6 weeks, and
trying to suckle on you.
Yeah, like we had him in a pen, so we'd sleep with him on the bed. Otherwise, he'd cry all night. So he was in one of those cat carriers. And to calm him, I just stick my finger in. He just kind of suckled my finger. And fell asleep.
I'm learning
Next
so much.
Art's trying something else.
No.
No.
We're learning what a kind soul and mellow soul he is. Like, come on.
No, he's a great dog. I would never say, but he did not start this way. It was like tough love, man.
Oh no, Pepper never got out of it. She was like 13 years old and just she used to, like, when she was a puppy, when we got her, when our other dog we had a little Yorkie poo, our other dog would be out there pooping and she would run right at it full speed the dog would like freak out, and sometimes hit the dog. I had a cat named Mupes that decided, I'm sick of this dog, went across the street, did not come home. When we moved, and I had Mupes for 10 years at that point, our neighbors are like, you're not going to take Kitty, are you? And I'm like, she hasn't been back to our house in a year. Like, I see her and I go, hey, Mupes, how are you? But she wouldn't come back because of Pepper. Like, so she ran one of our cats off, Anyway, I digress. A good dog is a great thing. She's got Pumpkin.
Oh, my Pumpkin is she's something else. That dog is jealous now with the grandbaby here.
Oh,
so she's seeking constant attention. She gets up on her hindquarters like this and does her little dance routine, like, oh, look at me. Tries to get in here, when Junie's on the floor, because Junie's on the move now. She's crawling and standing and trying to get moving. And so we have a gate up that keep Junie, from getting out of the kitchen area, and it keeps Pumpkin out. But we had when Junie wasn't home, we'd leave the gate open, and Pumpkin would go upstairs. Like if it was raining outside, she'd just disappear upstairs, and we'd come up there, and we'd find a turd.
Oh,
she's dropping a load there, because she didn't want to go outside.
Yeah, no wet
when it's raining.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, you're 99.9% wolf. What are they doing out there?
You can't. I'm so used to this, Papa.
Yeah,
don't put me out there.
It's water, like they act like it's acid or something. It's just water. It's just water.
Yeah. So we're sort of dealing with that right now because she's being a little jelly faced with the grandbaby, but she's good with her and everything. It's just she's an excitable Basset hound. She lots of energy which is really weird. We've never had a Basset hound with so much energy.
How old is she?
She is 6.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Does she howl? Don't Basset
No,
hound.
she the only time she's ever howled was in her sleep. It woke us up. We're in our bed, we're sound asleep, and all of a sudden we hear we're like, what the hell? All our other hounds howl, regularly, but she never has. She's different. I mean, she doesn't drool, which is really weird for a basset hound. She likes to get her nails clipped.
This sounds like a reincarnated person.
High fashion. Yeah,
my daughter says she's a special needs dog.
Nice.
She may be.
So were your daughters still in the house when you got the dog, or were they already out?
My youngest Mary was still in the house, and we had Mary's dog then, and then we got Pumpkin pretty close after that. And then it wasn't too long after that Mary moved out.
So I don't know if that makes a difference, but sometimes it does.
Gents, I'm going to get going. I'm turning into a pumpkin.
Oh, I understand, buddy. We all get up early. Let's do a refresh while you're here.
Yeah, I want to see this.
Yeah.
Is it up on the screen? No, it's not. So let's
not yet.
Check it out.
Let's put it up here.
Monster Island. Back it today.
All right.
650 away.
650 away, and
yeah.
Whoa.
225 away.
Oh my God.
You know what? I'll hang out a little longer. Just
10:30. He's hanging out till 10:30.
Yeah. I want a beer or whiskey so bad right now.
Yeah, I know, right?
So that's 250? No, 225, right?
Yeah, 225, I think we said, right?
Yeah.
25 would be 8. Yeah, 225. Yep.
Nice.
Play the video again. That'll get them going.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Now that's action and adventure, my friends.
That's epic.
Yeah,
epic. So how long have you had the Monster Island idea?
Since 1998 is when I published the first Monster Island. It was at that point where I wanted to try my hand at creator-owned stuff. Like I said, I was getting kind of disenfranchised from the style of comics that were coming about in the late 90s, overly sexualized, overly violent, and wanted to do an all ages comic. So that's basically how I decided I was going to do it. I had money in the bank because I had Bane royalties in there, and I knew I could take the time away. So I took a leave of absence from, I think I was working on Detective Comics. But I did have to come back because I had to do something. I can't remember now if it was Superman the Odyssey or if it was what was the other one? Or Joker Devil's Advocate. Not sure what years I was working. All the years blend together, and it's hard to remember what project came about and what you were working on. But
you do better than I do. I know none of it.
I just can't remember anymore. It's been so long. And like I said, it blurs together. But I know that, I had to go back to work because I ran through my Bane money and it didn't sell, through Diamond. It just didn't.
So did you have Compass comics then?
Yeah.
So you put it out completely independently then?
Yep. It came out as under the Compass Comics banner. I created Compass Comics as a publishing arm for myself in case it did really well and I could go on to the next one and all that kind of stuff. But so I incorporated it, as an S Corp, and then I just did all my business under it. So even though I wasn't publishing under Compass Comics, it was still the S Corp by which DC Comics paid me and everything else. So when it came to crowdfunding and starting all over again in 2020, all I did was I just resurrected Compass Comics as a logo. I changed its color. And it's funny. That's a funny story because, it was a blue logo, like this logo was the original logo. And when I put it on the cover of the Chenoo, there was too much blue on there and it got lost. So I thought, oh, this is a horror comic. It's black and white with blood. I'll change it to red and see how I like that. So I put the red logo on and I was like, oh, that's pretty fiery. It looks pretty cool, and just kept it. So that's how the red logo came about.
You had this. I know that the Monster Island IP was an older one, but I didn't know that you put it out completely independent. That's pretty ballsy, man.
I was younger.
So I mean, this is before crowdfund because I thought you came out with Monster Island when you started crowdfunding. I thought that was like the first appearance of it.
No, first appearance was 1998.
Because you kickstarted the first campaign, right? Was it Kickstarter or?
I think you're confusing when Ominous Press did Return to Monster Island, and they reprinted Monster Island back in 2018, Andy?
Yeah. 2018, 2017,
2018, somewhere around there.
Like that.
Ominous Press did it as a hardcover, and they funded the Return to Monster Island. And then
they ran the Kickstarter for you?
Yes.
Oh, that's definitely what I was thinking. Yeah.
So they ran that Kickstarter and it didn't do very well. So it wasn't enough for them to fund the Escape from Monster Island. So I had the rights returned to me. And so because I wanted to get all the Monster Island books under my Compass Comics banner again. And then for the sole purpose of publishing Escape, the brand new one, so that all three would be under my banner. And so that was really important to me, and to get it, get all the books looking the same and everything. And so it's going to be so cool when I finally get all of these. You're
also drawing in a style from 1998. Like, so what would that be like?
Well, you know what? The original one was black and white. Here, let me make myself
pick it up.
I'm going Biggie Smalls.
And people can get a copy of the 1998 book slabbed. There are only 40 of them, maybe even less, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. There's 40 available.
40 available.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. All right. So let me make myself big here. Okay. So remember, I told you that the original Monster Island was sort of a love letter to the Jack Kirby monsters and the Roy Crane comic strips. So it was done in black and white for a couple reasons. One, it's on duo shade board like Roy Crane used.
Nice.
And so it looks like Buzz Sawyer, the style.
Yeah.
But by doing it in black and white, I was also able to keep my printing costs down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For first time
and production too.
Yeah. So this style is slightly different than when I did Return in 2019 or 2018. It's a little bit more sophisticated, and obviously there's color in it.
Yeah.
And so now the new ones will be, the Escape will be more like this. Did
you have the first one recolored at all, or is it still in black and white?
I did. Well, Ominous Press had it recolored, and they did a colored version. And Greg Wright, we hired Greg Wright to do the colors on it, and he did a great job. The problem with it is that the color over the duo shade board just didn't work. It made it too muddy looking. It was designed for black and white, not for color. So when I reprinted it, here, I decided, well, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna print it the way it originally appeared, and hopefully people will like it in black and white. And
so they can get the new trilogy. They can get the trilogy with the new campaign, right?
Correct. Right. Yeah. So you can either get the framed cover version. You get all three in this frame, or you'll get the all three with the main covers, which is the wraparound cover for Monster Island, the white cover with Macaduke shooting off panel and the monsters around. That's Return to Monster Island, and then the main cover of Escape.
So then the rarest version of this will be the first book in color, right? It won't be the black and white version. It'll be the color version, right?
No. The rarest one is this one here.
Is the one with the variant cover for the retailer?
Yes.
Okay.
Because there's only 40 of them. There it is. In fact, I had it here.
Yeah,
Don't touch
it.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
Kaboom.
You're gonna ruins it.
Aaron's not here. He can do what he wants.
He can do what he wants. He doesn't have dad in the room.
Yeah.
Well, Graham Jonette, Joe Bernardo, Graham, he says, what size of that one? If you're talking about the dimensions, all of these new ones are just regular, standard
whatever normal size
dimensions.
10 something by 10 something by whatever.
Just a normal comic size, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, Joe, if you're still listening, I showed off your handiwork on those black and white covers. So thank you so much.
Yeah. There it is.
Yeah.
I dig it. I love the texture on that too.
Yeah, this was a pencil drawing, and it was scanned and then printed on the cover. So cool. It just has a white. This is kind of like the Beatles' White Album. You got just got the black and white Compass Comics logo.
I think Aaron hates the Beatles too.
Oh.
No, I don't know.
Well, that's me. Sure. And I was actually going to say, yeah, but the difference is that comic is good. Oh.
Don't talk about the Beatles like that.
Don't be slagging on the Beatles, man.
If you guys like Beatles, I found I don't know the site, but I'll find it and I'll put it in the green room. It's a breakdown of the studio sessions.
Oh, cool.
And it's fantastic. I had no idea Paul, John, all those guys in their own words at certain points in their career had broke those songs down, like keys that they're in. Like if you're a music or a creative person, it's absolutely fantastic to hear those guys break all that stuff down, the creative process behind it, and their mindset, what got them to create it. There's this one John Lennon story, just real quick. And I know we've all been there. Like he had a gun to his head. They had to put out 2 albums a year. So, that's like 14 songs, like 30, like close to 30 songs a year. And these were the Beatles. These were all hits, right? And so John's feeling the pressure. They wrote in the studio. They said session-wise, they never spent more than 3 hours. And on writing time, they never spent more than 3 hours on a song. Most of them were written in an hour. So John's feeling all this pressure. He's got to come up with something. So he's just banging his head against the wall. So then he finally got to this point. I know you guys have all been there creatively, where you just go, that's it. I can't do anything. And you just take a break for it. And he's talking about, this is John Lennon talking about how much of a loser he felt like, how much he was letting himself down, how much he was letting the band down, everything, right? So he just goes, I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to lay down. He said as soon as he laid his head down, Nowhere Man came to him.
Nowhere Man, yeah.
It was all there. It was all there. He just like boom. They put it together in an hour. They had Nowhere Man. And I'm like,
I love that song.
Holy shit, man.
I always vacillate between Rubber Soul and Revolver as far as my favorite is
Those
concerned.
are the two best. Yes.
Sometimes I'm like, it's this one, and no, it's you know, but those two are great. Of course, you know, Sgt. Pepper's, you can't really hate.
Sgt. Pepper's great. I like some of the stuff on Let It Be too, because they go back in time they were trying to get out of the studio and do more, you know, visceral music again. Raw. And there's a rawness to that, like that rooftop concert stuff. And,
oh man, yeah.
You know what? It's weird. I always felt bad for Michael Jackson. Like Jackson kept feeling like he needed to top the previous album, so everything started getting the scale got ridiculous, right? And I think the Beatles had the right idea, like, let's scale it down. You know what I mean? And I often thought there was a missed opportunity in Michael Jackson's career where if he would have just stripped it down, you know what I mean? Almost like an acoustic, like no real heavy production, just kind of good songs, just his performance, you know, like do good R&B stuff. And the shame is it never happened. And it's great that the Beatles had that kind of hindsight or forethought, I guess. And they still broke up, but refresh, Graham. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. Bum 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 bum. Oh, wrong tab. Bum bum bum.
Hit the right button, not the left button.
By the way, Art, that was real nice saying, you know, when John Lennon had a gun to his head. Nice.
There we go.
Way over.
Woo! Nice.
Excellent.
Yeah,
you can go to sleep.
I'm gonna go drink. I'm gonna get one of those round balls of ice, and I'm gonna pour some Michter's rye over it, and I'm gonna raise a glass to Graham Nolan.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna drink it, and then I'll go to sleep.
I think I'm gonna do the same thing.
Yeah, man. Congratulations, sir. Andy, Art.
Congratulations, Graham Nolan.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for spending the evening with me.
Of course.
No problem. And I have to address
that was a Mike Barron Irish out from Dan right there.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It's like I could wait till he ends the stream, but nope. Bam.
Later.
I wonder if I kicked him out.
I don't know.
I'm thinking I may have kicked him out.
You've had a busy day.
I thought I was hitting the link to the campaign, and he's not here, so I think I might have.
If you're listening, come back, Dan, and give us an official end. But Andy, real quick, I didn't mean anything by it. I realized that it might have seemed insensitive, but you know how we talk about deadlines, having a gun to your head. That's what I meant by it.
I know.
Well, you know, he did write.
He did a song, "Happiness is a Warm Gun."
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
You talk about insensitivity. I was listening to the radio the day he was shot, and that DJ he must not have been thinking, but he put that song on, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is pretty damn insensitive. This is LA radio too. I couldn't believe it.
They say that the song isn't about a gun, but that it's about heroin. I don't know if that's true.
It does go in warm.
That's what they're saying.
Wouldn't know.
I would.
Did you? Have you used heroin?
Well, close to it in the hospital. I've been jacked up pretty bad. So morphine, heroin. Yeah.
Right.
You'll get hot, like it'll bake you from the inside out. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, that's good intel, Marcus. Aaron Judge goes deep. The Yanks are up 6-2. Beautiful. Nice.
All right. Well, I'm going to bail too, my friend. Yep. Congratulations, Graham.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Let's all get some rest. Andy, thank you.
Yes.
Everybody in the chat, you guys are awesome. Thank you. Thank you for tuning into the show, and thank you for supporting our campaign here. So we'll see you tomorrow on the wait, no, this is the Bros. I'm losing track of time.
Landing party.
We'll see you tomorrow on the landing party with
landing party tomorrow,
with Mark Miller. So tune into that.
There you go.
All right, guys. Have a great night. And
See you guys.